Nah, that'd be fine.
Scamming users with empty audio files. I just realised I've been monitoring the levels the entire time. I'm like, it's not red. It's normally red.
What's normally red?
Writing.
The counter.
The writing's normally red, and it's
Was
counting.
it even going up?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't on.
Oof.
I didn't hit record, so I don't know how well that camera picked up because I've got another mic on it. But
So we need to do an even later intro. And I'm nearly through my whiskey, but don't give me more because then I won't be able to drive home.
no, it's fair enough. Yeah.
But just good job. Good job. Really professional.
So for now, those listening, we had originally done a intro about 3 minutes in. That was half an hour ago, and I've only just realised we didn't hit record on the microphones. So now you get to be here for like another hour.
I don't mind
Longer.
being. I don't mind having. I could be here all night if you want, but
That's fine. We'll do a 4-hour special, Christmas special.
oh gosh.
I'd get you in for a Christmas special.
But the topics are just gonna get more and more.
I was running out after
random.
That's the beauty of it,
garbage
though.
Of just talking, and like everyone listening is gonna be trying their best to work it out and have no idea. And they're probably already like, "What are these guys going on about?"
Now I'm just
The
going to
reality is we've been talking for an hour plus because we were recording while talking while you were setting
That was
up.
40 minutes.
But including setup time,
Oh,
that's
actually, that's
like
true.
2 hours.
Should have had the mics on then.
And
This table.
we've just probably burnt out everything we'd normally talk about.
There's always more. I'm just going to go randomquestiongenerator.com. Let's go.
You still got the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the Google map finding thing?
Oh, GeoGuessr.
That was the best.
It was good, but I was right. There's only so much you can do with guessing locations and trying to make it interesting.
More like even if you didn't have like the videos so much to accompany it, I just really enjoyed having the challenge of trying to beat you.
So you just want me to upload a video of a map being zoomed in and out?
That's fine. Like it was just fun because I remember like everyone who got into it, we got really into it, and then I mean it did come to the point where we were all just trying to find ways to cheat it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I started. This is just a waste of time.
Where like it would be like out of 20,000 points, and we'd have Anthony there with 19,950.
How that's possible, no one's quite figured out yet.
I don't remember what his high score was, but it was in the 19s. Definitely was in the 19s. I think my highest was 17s.
Swanee ruined it for everybody.
And that was semi-legit.
A semi.
Yeah.
You watched the video first.
No, I didn't watch the video. No, because it was different to the video.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember, like, what did I do? It was semi... I remember it was semi-legit. There was something I did that was like, that's a bit sus. I think I Googled a phone number to see what country code it was or something.
That would be around the time I started implementing the time limit.
Yeah. No, that was just that was before the time limit. That was Mexico. Mexico and Hungary and France.
Make it sound like I just know all these. There's like over 150 videos. I don't know.
I remember the GeoGuessr ones really well.
They actually did fairly well, but it was just getting hard to actually make them interesting to record.
I guess that's fair. But I remember that one had like a really good following because everyone that was doing it really loved playing it. I don't know. If you haven't already and you're listening to the podcasts, you need to go back, find his GeoGuessr videos and
watch
have a crack
them,
at
comment,
them.
and I'll make another one.
Yeah, if we get enough views. I don't know, what is it? 25 views. There we go.
I think most of them are in the 20s.
Are they? I have no idea.
Get one of them to 100, and I'll do another one.
Woofed. That's
Gotta aim high, man.
good goals.
It is very good goals. All right. So out of random questions, because we're running out of topics at that point, last book you gave up on and stopped.
When was the last time I read a book?
That's why I thought this could be interesting.
Does it count if it was a textbook?
Sure.
Then it would probably... Well, I mean, it would probably be my thermodynamics book at that point. Then,
I don't think I'd even touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, it's not that hard. But the last actual book that I read that... This is the thing, right, is... I do read books. I promise I read books. But I never remember...
Oh, no, they go
said
in
books.
one ear, out the other.
Yeah, so... remembering like the last, because I don't read them that frequently either. I maybe read like a couple a year, 3 a year,
Yeah.
4 a year. Remembering the last one that I read is just kind of like, and it's remembering the last one I like stopped halfway through reading.
I'd imagine that's a fair few of them.
No, like
Really?
normally if I read a book, I will read the whole book
Is that a pride thing?
unless it's really bad, in which case I'll read like 2 pages and just put it back.
That's fair.
For me to start reading a book, I need to like the book.
Actually, I think I know the last book you would have finished is. It would have been the PewDiePie book. It would have been one of the last ones.
That was definitely one of the last ones, yeah. I read that in like a couple hours. That wasn't a long book.
I know. It's just freaking pictures.
Yeah, but it was a good book.
still
I
haven't read it.
respect the sentiment in that book.
I still haven't read it. It's on the shelf.
It's basically just like an FU to all of the, the whole idea of inspirational quotes.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
an
random
FU.
crap.
It's just an FU to the entire idea of that, of needing other people's like validation as to why you should do things.
Which is interesting because he wrote that, and that was before he was into the whole stoicism thing. He wrote that. That was in like 2015.
I get the feeling he's been into that for a while.
Yeah, and he only told us about it when he's like mastered it.
Yeah,
That doesn't
I mean,
faze him.
I'd be pretty surprised if he's only just got into it now and he knows as much as he does. He seems to be pretty
That's true.
into it.
Jokes on us. It's like he's only just revealed to us his like ultimate physique. He's been benching and like working out at some barnyard gym for like the last 6 years.
Yeah, he's way fitter than I thought he would be.
Yeah. It inspires, aggravates, and motivates me all at the same time.
I haven't watched PewDiePie in a while. Oh, I say
Because
that.
his new stuff's very, very different.
By a while, probably like 3 days ago.
Oh, jeez.
But like, as in like I'm not like daily watching his content at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm daily watching many people's content. I've got back into, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Gray Still Plays.
I hear his name brought up a lot. I don't actually watch him though. I don't know who he is.
You know why I got back into him? Happy Wheels. Oh.
Didn't it get taken down?
No, I think it's still up.
They lied. Hyped it up and then didn't take it down.
I feel like I heard about Happy Wheels being taken down, but he's still playing it. So somewhere
He's got like an archived copy.
Somewhere it must be available. And but the thing is, like, it's not just an archive copy; it's an online available copy because the whole idea of it is that people make levels.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's, I think, a series that PewDiePie needs to bring back.
There's so many series.
That was the series that I got into.
Has he played the new Amnesia yet?
Yeah. Well, he played one episode. At least as far as we know, he's played one episode.
Because I thought that would be the
He
big
did
thing
2 hours
that he
of
would
it or
have
something.
jumped straight into.
Yeah, as soon as it came out, he did 2 hours of it, and I haven't seen him touch it again since.
Mark's the same. He did like 3 episodes and then left it.
Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but
No clue. Oh, actually, you know what it is. Amnesia's not a hugely popular game. Actually, wait, no, they stopped uploading that like a month ago. I was going to say, because it's not a huge popular game and December's like really good for money, they want to upload like more clickbaity stuff.
I mean, like, for example, like maybe I don't know so much about Markiplier. I don't watch him enough, but with PewDiePie, I get the feeling that he could borderline just upload
Literally anything.
and people will watch.
He could play Space Simulator.
Space Simulator.
Yeah, I've got Microsoft Space Simulator for MS-DOS.
What are you doing that?
I don't know. I've never booted it up because it's on a floppy disk.
I kind of want to play it.
I don't have a floppy disk reader anywhere.
Is that just what? Is that the game where you just got to land the moon lander?
Very possibly.
I think I've played that. It's actually pretty fun. It's really hard.
But it's so old. I have no way to play it.
Thinking of old games, old games that you'd have likely played at least.
Yeah, we're not that old.
You ever play? It was a Flash game.
Ooh.
I'm just thinking of simulators. I think it was like Tu-95 or something. It was like a Soviet Russian bomber or something, and you have to.
That sounds. I feel like I would have seen that in passing.
It was a Flash game, and you've got to fly a plane and drop a bomb. That's the whole game.
I've definitely played a Flash game like that because that was like my bread and butter before I had games.
This is like year 6. It was like a big deal if you ever found a game on. I remember in year 6 it was like a big deal that we found a cool maths games that had boobs in it.
I could see that being very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of era of games. Just like the game itself had like nothing in it.
I feel like we've just tapped a really rich vein here because now we can just talk about Flash games because I feel like we would have played a lot of the same ones. You play Skull Kid.
Yes.
That was classic. You know how long it took me to actually...
Like, as soon as you mentioned that, there's the chainsaw.
yeah.
That's
You know how long it took
definitely-
me to beat that game? I kept dying. On like, there was a dude with a shotgun who just kept getting me.
Was that in like the last? Because there's 3 levels, right?
I never made it past the first one.
Really?
There's like, or maybe the second level. There's like a dude with a shotgun, and I couldn't shoot fast enough to get him.
I'm trying to. I remember the play format of it, and I remember the game.
It was so basic.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the 3 levels. I remember the last level because that's the one I spent obviously the most time
Yeah.
on. And I remember it was the top floor of an office building, and then you cut a fat guy in half.
I don't remember. I wish it's so annoying that now, like nowadays, games have like lore and they go into like the background of history of character. I want to know what this kid's
Elder
what's this kid
Scrolls,
problem
man.
was. Why does he have a skull? Is it the mask? Is he literally have no skin?
I have no idea. No, it would have been a mask. There's no way he did. He's
It's a
got
Flash game,
skin.
they don't tell
He's
you.
got skin for sure. That's a mask, and he's pissed off. Let's make lore for it.
Make lore for Skull Kid.
It's a mask from. It's a mask because it's his dad's head. It's his dad's head because that was his dad's boss, and his dad's boss made him overwork and kill himself.
Skull Kid wiki. Now I've got to Google this.
We're googling Skull Kid.
That's just come up with Zelda.
Oh, that's
Skull Kill Zelda. No.
hot take. Zelda's garbage. Oof, that may be a bit harsh.
I don't like the old ones.
That was probably a bit
The new
harsh,
one is good.
actually. I kind of want to take that back already. That might have been a bit much.
People are gonna hunt you down now.
Yeah, I know. Oofed. No, look, Zelda's okay.
You don't own a Nintendo console.
I still played Zelda. You don't have to own.
Yeah.
I've never owned an Xbox. I've played a bunch of Halo.
It's on PC.
Now it is.
Yeah, it's always been on PC.
Well, Halo 1 was.
Yeah, that's true. Halo 1 and 2 were.
I think I don't know what Halo I played the most. Probably Halo 1 at school. in
Everyone
class.
had it on a USB.
Yeah.
Back in the day when
USB
you could actually
on the
run a
little
game.
netbook laptop things.
So garbage.
In class. Those were the days.
Back when you could actually run games off of a USB.
And then you had that one kid who just loses shit in class.
Break a netbook.
Yeah, gets suspended because he was playing Halo in class. That was
That's Scott.
no. Scott was pretty bad because that was like year 7, year 8.
Mm.
Scott was pretty bad then, but that wasn't Scott.
Oh jeez.
That would have. No, we're not going to shout names.
Don't put
Let's not shout names.
Before we get
That wasn't Scott, and I'm allowed to mention Scott's name because if everyone here hasn't heard of Scott, they probably will see Scott eventually or hear Scott
Probably.
eventually.
Weirdly enough, I don't think he'd be into getting on the podcast. He'd be into drinking.
Oh, he'd be fine.
He'd be into drinking, and that'd be about it.
He'd be fine. He can talk.
He can, but
And he's interesting too. I like Scott. He's
I
a
hope
good
so. You've
dude.
spent so many years with him.
He's a good dude. I like Scott. He's interesting.
He is interesting.
Mm.
With a
Drink break.
yes, not sponsored by Canadian Club or Apple Juice. As yeah,
No, this isn't alcohol. That's bad.
no.
It's naughty.
Next question that'll probably lead us on another tangent. I'm just going to keep cycling through them, and we'll find something we like.
The Elder Scrolls books.
Yeah, I bought those recently, and I don't know why.
Have you read them?
No, they're just the guides. The
Oh,
game
just
guides.
the guides.
I just bought them on
yeah,
eBay.
actually, it does say official game guide on the book, doesn't it?
Actually, the only other thing you'd be interested in is there's the boxed version of Empire Total War.
I don't see it, but I'm sure
Far,
it's here.
top left cubicle, far right.
Oh,
Yeah,
right there.
box copy.
Wow. That's an old one too.
That's very old. That's back when Games for Windows Live was a thing.
I think I had Empire. That was the first one I played.
Empire was probably the most popular, I think.
Empire was the one that was on a global map, and
Yep.
it was like, roughly speaking, the same kind of time as Napoleon.
Yeah, between Napoleon
It wasn't Napoleon, but it was like the same sort of period-ish where they were getting like rifles and
Yeah, rifles, ships, cannons,
yeah. That was
whole
the first one I played.
American Revolution type of thing.
That was the first one I played. Then I went to Napoleon. Then I went to Rome 2. And only now have I got the Shogun 2. I got
think I've-
Shogun 2 after Rome 2.
I think I've got Shogun. I still haven't installed it. I bought it
I
when it
installed
came
it, but I
out.
never played it.
I should just give you access to my Steam library. I'll probably just go ham. You know how much stuff I have not even touched once in that library? I just buy because it's on sale.
You know how much stuff I have on Steam that I just don't download?
Shower with your dad simulator.
Well, I played that. That's downloaded. But as in, like, I've got, like... I mean, I haven't got that many games on Steam, but I've only downloaded, like, maybe 10. Because I only play, like, 5 games on repetition.
You got CS, Rocket League.
CS, very rarely nowadays, because I
Among
was
Us.
terrible at it. Rocket League, sometimes now. Even still. Like, I played Rocket League a bit recently. Among Us was a big thing for a bit. No one's playing it at the moment.
Because yeah, now everyone's going back to work.
VR chat recently.
VR chat's ridiculous.
VR chat just because it has a better version of Among Us.
But you can download a bunch of other
amidst
crap.
them.
Amidst them.
Amidst them. That's good. That's good
I
shit.
feel like I need to properly experience VR chat in VR one of these days. I'd like rent.
I mean, I would like
I'd rent a
to.
headset.
I would like to play VR chat in VR, but even without VR, it's still pretty fun.
because I think you can play Skyrim in it.
Probably.
That'd be dope. Terrifying,
And
but dope.
and my bread and butter AOE.
How would you play AOE in VR?
No, not AOE. Not on VR. Like on Steam. I've got AOE on
Oh,
Steam.
okay. That's what. How the hell? Would
That's
that
my
even...
bread and butter.
AOE in VR would
I'm
just
not
be like
good
God.
at AOE. I
No.
just play a lot of AOE.
You have like 1,000 hours in that, don't you?
No, not even close. Like
I swear.
across AOE to
If it's still-
HD and AOE
I'd say so,
Definitive
yeah.
Edition, I've got maybe 400, maybe 500. But I honestly think all of my HD hours you can just throw in the bin because they were wasted of just
In the lobby.
largest map size, one map, no skill, just
Sit
me
and do
and
nothing.
3 mates v 4 hardest bots on Black Forest, 500 pop max. Just basically the whole game mode was do nothing but wall, get a ridiculous amount of resources, and then just like throw elephants at them basically. There was no skill.
I think I should go back to Empire.
There's no skill. There's skill now.
I feel like even with AOE, like even the professionals, it's not a lot of skill, it's speed. If you're quicker and you know what you're doing, you can beat almost anyone.
Yeah, I mean, APM is a big part of it.
It's not
I'd
close.
say. Actions per minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just like your clicking speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, for sure. But, I mean,
Until like they've got like I know some units are obviously stronger against others, but until it's like an actual tactics like Total War, where you've got to position the units
well,
properly.
you say that, but it is in Age of Empires
To a degree, I
because
feel like you can just storm the gate and
no,
to a degree win.
not in high level games because it happens before that. In high level games, you're playing aggressively. I mean, you played a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll know what I'm referring to here. Like early feudal
Mm-hmm.
is when it starts getting aggressive, and that at that point you've maybe only got. And this was, I think, the hardest part to adjust to, of where like we used to play 500 pop, just get to 500 pop and then attack.
Yeah.
With these guys, you're pushing them with 5 units.
So
So
it
if,
just sounds like suicide.
yeah, but it works.
Oh, okay.
And if you know how to play those 5 units, because we are talking about a point in the game where you have maybe 20 villagers. So if you lose 1 or 2, you're like badly handicapped.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point like if you're only pushing with 5 units, it means that you do have to know how to play those units better, and it does mean that they're easier to counter. So it does make a big difference if you know how to, what counters what, how to deal with certain situations, how do you deal with certain tactics.
Okay.
It gets,
So it's more strategic than it actually looks on the outside.
the higher up you get, the more insane it gets. Like, you're probably used to the old games we used to play, which was the problem, was that got us into really bad habits of just trying to like wall and then just build up
Spam.
500 pop.
Yeah.
But the reality is, once you start doing competitive play, you can't do that anymore because you'll just die. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Someone will kick your ass, for sure.
Even with RTS games,
And
I
also,
struggle.
we used to put in like a whole bunch of rules that didn't actually exist within the game, so that didn't help either.
like
Like you couldn't tunnel with the onagers trees
Just because it's what OP.
because we were like, yeah, because when we were playing, we were terrible, and we were just like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't just go around our wall and hit us with 400 units. But reality, you
You
can.
can.
You
Yeah.
can.
Definitely.
And when you're playing online, you're dealing with people who will do that. So you can't wait for them to do that.
Online pissing me off. I ended up rage quitting so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I've not played it in a while. But that was the last game I played a lot of.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I've kind of stopped
CS,
doing
you have more hours though. Definitely.
Yeah,
through
maybe.
hide and seek
Maybe,
and
yeah.
surfing and
CS, I played a lot of hours and I never got good. I've
Neither.
always been bad at CS. Like, just
But it's
straight
okay because we've
bad.
dragged Swanee down with us.
Oh, yeah, no. The good part was bringing everyone else
Yeah.
down to our terrible level.
So by comparison, we're okay.
If that's how you want to look at it,
Yeah.
sure.
I feel like we can milk this one for a while as well. What's an unpopular opinion you have besides Zelda?
Oh, man. Unpopular opinion. I've got a lot.
Let's go.
Uh,
Let's make a good clip.
I'm trying to think of unpopular opinions. Nah, I want to go next. Can I go next?
No, no.
I don't want to cause like too much because like the problem with unpopular opinions is they're usually controversial.
I mean, as long as they're not controversially political, that's fine. Don't go that route. Go the other ones.
But like no, like even well, I mean, yeah, sure, but everything's kind of political nowadays.
I mean, your unpopular opinion could be the whole pineapple on pizza thing.
I love pineapple.
Exactly.
On pizza.
Pineapple pizza is great. Actually, how about
That's not controversial. That's just correct.
No, that's exactly. So how about instead of I'll just come up with some unpopular opinions. And we'll cycle
okay.
through them.
What about oofed?
Unpopular opinions, and we'll go to Reddit.
Oofed should be banned as a word, and I need to stop saying it.
I agree.
That's not an unpopular opinion. That's just something
That's just a fact.
it's like smoking. It's a habit. I don't actually know.
All right, let's go.
Generally
top
speaking, unpopular
all
opinions.
time.
I usually try to keep myself as like a mild standpoint on most things, particularly if I don't understand them. But
Ooh, actually, there's some good ones here.
okay,
Reddit's milk. I can milk Reddit for years now.
that's what everyone's doing now.
I know, but I'm doing this in a different format, so it's okay. Digital copies of games should be far cheaper than the physical version.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually no. No.
I mean, they still put the same time and
Initi-
effort into development.
yeah, initial thought process was yes there, but that was kind of like a knee-jerk reaction. No.
But
That's wrong. Shouldn't do that.
But then the marketing behind all the printing and physical stuff. I mean, it's very
I
rare
would-
that companies do physical.
I
games
would
anymore,
say
anyway.
that there should be a slight premium on the physical game, but the physical game nowadays is more just kind of like memorabilia merch
Yeah.
than it is actually for the game.
9 times out of 10, it's not even a nice box. It's like a DVD case
No.
and a Steam
But-
code in there,
You're really only paying to have the case.
and like the cover art.
Yeah,
It's
so
a collector's edition, obviously.
I'd say there should be like a slight premium just to be
At the
like,
box.
yeah, just to be like, look, this is the cool little thing that I've got. But I don't think it should be so much more that it deters people
Yeah.
from wanting them.
Because that was my problem. So, have you read into too much about the new consoles?
A little bit, not a lot.
So both of them
I have no interest in actually buying them, so
both of them have a diskless version. So for people who run pretty much like we do with Steam, people who run completely digital libraries. My problem with that is with console games, if you go to EB, there's always like a $25 and under bin. Even if the game came out like a couple weeks ago, sometimes
yeah,
it can go
yeah.
straight in there. But PSN and Xbox, Microsoft Store, their sales are always abysmal in terms of actual how much money you save.
right.
You'll get like 10% off. Whereas EB, you wait till Christmas, you get like 85% off for the
Yeah.
exact same game. So the diskless, that's the only reason I wouldn't get it.
That's
It's
fair.
annoying. All right, let's go. Not even gonna touch that.
This is the
It's
thing.
so
like-
weird. It's so okay.
I mean, I don't.
The best part of yogurt is not the yogurt itself.
That's not what I thought we were gonna have here.
Let's hang on.
What are they suggesting is the best part
Okay.
of yogurt?
The best part of yogurt is not the yogurt itself, but when the yogurt sits for a good deal of time and settles, leaving that wonderful liquid floating atop. Drinking that liquid is so much better than the actual yogurt.
Oh, dude, what? No. No.
Quick science trip. That's whey protein.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That actually no. I am like anytime I just like nah.
you gotta mix it in though.
I mix
Yeah,
it in. I
okay.
mix it in. I am just
That just makes me
it
think
just
like they're
looks so off-putting. It just looks like it's like
off.
off. Yeah.
That
It
just
just
looks like
makes
they're
it makes
drink-
me
Oh.
it reminds me that this is just off.
It's cultured, yeah.
Yeah.
Fermented. Oh man,
Whoever wrote that is like
something's wrong with them.
they need to seek help.
Ooh. Okay, on the topic of pizza we had before with the pineapple, Meat Lover's pizza is massively overrated and is borderline disgusting.
If you're a vegetarian, sure.
I think they're just talking like they say they're not vegan or vegetarian. I think it's the overload of so many different.
I just feel bad for them. I just, like,
I can see where they're coming. There's just so many different types of meat. I'd like a chicken pizza, and I'd like a meatball, not meatball, but like
saying it's
sausage.
overrated is one thing. Saying it's disgusting is a totally another. Like,
It's just a lot on one pizza.
it's a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of good.
It's a lot of heart disease on a pizza.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
what I
man.
want. In fact, actually, thinking of pizza, you know probably more than anyone that I hate mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
I've recently discovered that I can eat as many mushrooms as I like on a pizza.
But not. It's different though. So like the way Pizza Hut and Domino's do their pizza is very classic, but the way Australian pizza shops like Johnny Boys and stuff, where you've got the base, you've got the tomato sauce or whatever, and then there's like 6 inches of onions
Yep.
interlaced with 6 inches of mushrooms,
Yep.
sealed together with cheese, so you can't pick off just one, and then there's like something on top or whatever else they put on it. There's onions are good on pizza, but they put so much and it doesn't cook all the
There's
way
a
through.
limit to any ingredient on pizza, but like,
Ooh, I reckon I could eat a solid pizza that is just tomato sauce and pineapple. I would happily eat that.
it needs at least cheese.
No, I would just put salt.
Ham?
Maybe, but I would be happy with salt and pineapple with the base sauce or whatever.
That's a bit odd, man. Just eat the pineapple. At that point,
I
Just
would.
Eat a
I mean, I should
pineapple.
just have a sandwich
mean,
with some pineapple.
Like I sometimes I do just eat pineapple. Like I like
It's a pain
pineapple,
to cut though.
but that's kind of pointless. At that point, yeah, you are just eating pineapple on bread with tomato sauce.
I should try that in a sandwich. Just try that separately and see how off-putting it looks. Okay. No, that's boring. Ooh. This is a good
mostly
middle
water
ground
now.
between.
This is mostly water now.
I can give you like a half.
That's
No.
all good.
This is controversial without dipping too much into political. Cemeteries are a waste of space and everyone should be cremated or composted after death.
This is where I mean that I try and sit middle ground. Everyone's got their thing. Like personally, I'm just cremate me, but
Yep.
to some people it's a big deal.
Some people bury the ashes though. That's the way I'm like, you don't need that much space.
I mean, that kind of depends to me. When you say bury the ashes, do you mean like they just put a little hole and they put a tombstone on it, or are they like using a full 6-foot grave?
That's the thing I don't get. Like, I remember I've been to one funeral. I'm pretty sure they cremated her, but they still put a coffin in the ground. So either they put the urn in the coffin, or the coffin went down and then they sprinkled the ashes in there. I'm like,
That's a bit odd. I mean,
it's a bit of a waste of money.
kudos to them, but I don't really get it.
No.
But like, I mean, maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe even though still just have closed casket.
Surely at that point
I
as
don't
well,
know.
with all the cremation, you would not feel closer with the urn, like on your display in your house maybe, or at a family thing.
Well, I mean, I've had family cremated. We scattered the ashes, but
Yeah.
the
That seems way better.
that's the way I want it done personally. But I mean, like, look, for some, everyone's got their beliefs, and I'm like, look, so long as their beliefs are respectful and whatnot, let them go through with whatever they want. But yeah, I understand where the person is coming from. I think they're just a bit forceful about it.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Like, you can't make everyone do what you want.
Okay, let's keep cycling.
That's fascism. No
Um,
one likes fascism.
That's true, actually. Except the
Fascist.
fascist. Okay, that's boring. That's... Ooh, that's got the badge of top of all time.
Okay, I'm interested to hear this.
Eating cereal with water is better than milk. Do you know how many they have? Okay, they don't have the most awards, but they have like 20 awards on there. Like, they've given 2 platinums and 5 gold.
No, man. You need that protein.
I've done water because I'm like, we don't have milk and I really want to eat cereal and not want it dry, so I'll just chuck water. I really don't care.
I mean, it depends on
But
the cereal.
I would obviously rather have milk. I am a true believer that cereal with water is better. The taste of milk conflicts with the taste of cereal, whereas water does not. I mean, they're not wrong.
Milk
but
doesn't have that much of a taste.
no, not really. Unless you've got like almond milk and stuff. It's got a weird tang.
Yeah, unless like your milk's gone off.
I mean, there's that too.
But like, okay, well, for example, like with you, your protein, because you obviously go to the gym a fair bit more than me. Do you mix that with water or milk?
Water.
Okay, because I mix that with water too.
Yeah, that's just laziness though. I'd rather have the milk, say, for like
My,
either
milk,
like
my cereal.
a milk thing, like
Yeah.
cereal or baking or hot chocolate or tea.
Because I used to do it with milk, but then I was kind of like, this just
If
feels
you're
a
trying
bit.
to put on weight, it's good to have it with milk.
Yeah, but I also kind of feel like it's a lot of milk.
It's a lot of milk.
It kind of felt a bit like a waste of milk.
It does a bit. Because the protein, no matter what protein powder you get, regardless if it's the most expensive one or not, they all taste a bit shit.
And the reality is like the milk's not adding anywhere near as much protein as the actual powder itself.
Oh god, no. Unless you're literally diluting,
It's adding fat and it's adding calcium.
unless you're diluting one scoop in like a half liter of milk, and then even then the milk's only
Yeah.
like 10 grams, maybe.
Yeah, that's that milk. No, water, yes, but
Yes.
cereal is definitely
Milk.
Milk.
100%. Ooh, you'll like this one. Middle-aged guys don't buy sports cars because they're having a midlife crisis. It's because they can finally afford the car that they've wanted. I feel like this is like 70% true.
Yeah, I'd
There's
say-
obviously people who are just buying
I
it.
would say that's like. I mean, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
There are some people,
Which need to
like let me
give
put
up.
it this way: if you own an Audi TT, now this is here we go.
Ooh.
Here's
Ooh.
a controversial opinion. If you own a Audi TT, you're just a wanker. You don't like cars. You own it because you think it looks cool. And I've driven one of them and they're garbage. You own it because I think it looks cool and that's it. There's nothing that important to it. If you actually liked the car, you'd get an Audi S3. It's cheaper, better, more practical, same thing, done. Like, if so, for example, if you're talking about a middle-aged dude, you went cars. This is a big mistake.
Yeah.
If you went like a middle-aged dude that bought himself an Audi TT or some brand new BMW or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that, probably just midlife crisis, wants to look flash, has a little bit of money, most of it's the end of his mortgage.
Yeah.
He's a bit of an asshole.
He's just kind of given up now. He's like, may as well enjoy.
He thinks if he drives a flash car, he'll be able to replace his wife with a 20-year-old girlfriend. That kind of dude. Yeah, I saw you wince there, but it's probably true.
Oh, 100% true. 100% true.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But then you've also got like the 40-year-olds who they get to 40 and then they either can afford to get their first, like maybe, I don't know, they buy themselves a 911 because they've always wanted one, or
Could be their first just brand new car.
their first new car, or they've bought their first classic car.
Yeah. American Muscle or something.
Yeah, that's legitimate. But usually you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you can definitely tell what kind of... the thing I've liked since I've learned about cars, you can tell a lot about a person by the car that they drive. A lot. You can tell a lot about a person by the car that they drive.
Does that not depend if they're a car person or not?
No.
Because to me, a car's a car. If you give it to, I will drive. I will daily a Nissan Cube if it's the only vehicle I have. I have no issue with that.
Yeah, but the same thing is that you wouldn't then go and buy like a BMW X5.
No. Because to me,
You
that's
see?
just like, I don't know.
But you see, because you're not the kind of person that would buy an X5, and a car person wouldn't buy an X5.
But what about me wouldn't buy an X5? Because if I had the money, I would put it into a Tesla.
Because that's not what you think is important.
Oh no, Teslas just.
You don't think looking flash is important.
Oh, but to me, Teslas look like I would get.
Oh,
I'd get the
Teslas-
Tesla Roadster.
Yeah, but like Teslas are cool. But like, okay, so what would be your reasons for getting a Tesla?
One, I really love the head unit. It's got
Ever-
the vertical.
Okay, I hate the head unit.
Really?
That's my least favorite part of a Tesla.
Okay.
But
And
that's fair.
it just looks sick. Like I don't like the Cybertruck. I'd love to drive one just to see what it's like. I wouldn't ever
See-
even if I had money to buy that ever.
I mean, I think it, like it depends on. it's hard to explain, but I think you can tell a lot about a person by the car that they drive. If they usually, like for example with you, you can tell that you don't really care that much about the car itself. You just want something that's practical. By the car that you drive a CRV, X-Trail. I always get every
It's
time.
four-wheel drive.
Every time I get that wrong. Yeah, you drive an X-Trail, an older one at that, so you don't really care what the car is. You just want something practical, that's reliable, that's gonna get you A to B. That's fine. Where, like, so for example, if someone's driving around in their Audi SQ5 or 7, you can tell that they want people.
They want people's eyes on
They
them.
want people to realize that they've got money
Not
to
just money.
spend,
Money.
whether or not they can actually afford that car. Because the thing I think a lot of people mistake is you can finance a car and then you don't actually own it.
Yeah. You can, yeah.
Big thing for me at work was the SQ7 guy coming in bragging about his $200,000 car and then not wanting to spend more than $40 on oil. I was like, really? But
That's almost like 100% not his car.
yeah, it's like, are you sure you actually have afford your car if you can't pay for oil? But whatever, you do you. I feel like cars can tell a lot about a person. You can tell if someone is an enthusiast about what they own, if they want people to think they're rich, if they care, they just want pure efficiency, if they care about the environment, if they, that sort of thing. You can tell those sort of things just by what someone's driving.
On the note of vehicles, I'd like to point out that needing to own a motorbike license for an electric bike is absolute horse crap.
I'd agree with that. I have a motorbike license and I agree with that.
Because now if I want to go do the learner's test and then practice for the P's, I need to own a motorbike. Or pay for lessons with someone who does.
Oh, I mean, you don't...
You can't rock up to your motorbike learner's test with an e-bike.
Well, you can... No, but they will give you one.
Yeah, but then between your learners and your P's, like, if I don't have a motorbike...
You just need to know how to ride at that point.
Yeah.
Which was kind of my advantage, was that I learnt before I went for my test because I grew up riding bikes. But and I didn't have... Between my L's and my P's, I never rode a road bike. But I kind of already knew how to ride a bike. So that was fine. But yeah,
Especially if you're just riding it on like trails and that.
Have you ridden motorbikes?
No, just the one time you put me on the back and I almost wet myself.
Oh, it's really easy.
It looks pretty easy. I think the gear thing.
I would
where it's
offer
like
you
go
mine,
up,
but
then
I'm
down
selling
twice, then you go up 3 times, and then
I would offer let you use mine.
I don't even have the time to go for
but
my license.
it's sold,
That's
so it's
fine.
gone. But that's fine. That's okay. I don't mean, like, look, it's not hard,
Yeah.
but it is a pain in the ass. More than anything is because the cost of paying for a license for an e-bike is a lot.
You also need a motorbike license to have an electric scooter. Not even like, like a mobility scooter for like...
Yeah.
Not even that. I'm talking literally, it's like a push scooter with a small motor on it that maybe lets you go 20 Ks.
What, like the kid ones?
Yeah.
No, you
No,
don't need a
there are
license.
grown-up ones that are
Yeah,
meant for like
okay.
full-on commuting, but you still need a full-on motorbike license to use one. Over a certain power limit or whatever.
Yeah,
But the
I
ones
don't
that
know.
are under are
I don't know
completely
what
useless.
the power limit is, but I know it's pretty pathetic.
It needs to go, if it goes more than 15 Ks an hour.
Because I know, like, people, the motorized 50cc bicycles and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people get fined for riding those.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
like a
think that's
$600
pretty,
fine.
I think that's pretty
It's
harsh.
useless.
Like, that dude that's using that has probably lost their license and just wants something to commute on.
Exactly.
Let
I
'em
would
take
literally... I almost bought one just impulse buy.
Just
electric
build
scooter.
one. They're not that... Oh, no, sorry. Okay.
I just want an electric scooter just to ride around here just for the sake of having one. Just looks
I
like
don't
fun.
know. I don't really know what all the laws are around those, but
Bullshit
I
is
think-
what they are.
it sounds like it. I mean, like, to need a license to ride, it's effectively just a bicycle with a helper motor on it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's silly.
Okay, if
We'll
Reddit would
keep
load.
We'll keep it PG. It's silly.
Yeah. That's an ad. Let's just keep scrolling. Nope. Reddit, fix your website. Nope.
Yeah, don't fix Reddit. Reddit's great.
It is great, but I'd like to be able to just see the title. No.
Does Tumblr still exist?
Tumblr does, but I don't think there's much you can do on it anymore. It's mostly bots now. Tumblr was interesting. Oh my god. Scroll.
We all know what killed Tumblr.
Porn bots.
Well, no, when they banned porn was basically when they killed Tumblr.
All nudity, all images.
That
gone.
was basically, if anyone ever used Tumblr, that's all they used it for.
100%. Or they're trying to be very artsy.
Yeah, but
I remember I had an ex who tried to make me a Tumblr, and I'm like, I don't get this.
Isn't it just MySpace?
For the most part, with maybe a couple extra features. For the most part, it's MySpace rebranded. Same way Musically became TikTok.
Yeah.
Same crap. Oh, here we go. It's not controversial, but it's interesting. Being too cold is way better than being too warm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And there's one
Like-
simple reason for it as well.
I can always make myself warmer.
Bingo.
So
Can't
much
strip your skin
easier.
off.
It's so much easier to just put on another layer if I'm freezing cold.
That's why I would happily have a house with aircon and no heating.
Yeah, I'm in with that as well. The thing is though, like at night, I really like to sleep in the cold.
Oh, so
I
much
love
better.
it. I love it. I
Aircon
will.
fan.
I'll have the window open mid of winter. Like no
It's horrible in the
problems.
morning when you gotta get up.
Oh, then it's terrible. But
Go to- you need to have like an automated window so that when you go to sleep, over the course of 8 hours, it slowly closes
yeah.
and your fan slowly turns off.
And then like just like
Heater goes a little
7:30 in the morning, heater on.
Electric blanket on.
Ooh. But no, but then you get out of bed and it's still cold. You need
That's
the
true,
heater
actually,
on.
yeah.
You need the whole room warm when you get
Yeah.
up. I'm one of those people that are just not good at getting up. I can stay up. I can not sleep for ages. I don't need to
How long do you
sleep.
think you could not sleep for? Like effortlessly, not pushing it like taking like 7 coffees and taping your eyelids open.
Fairly effortlessly.
Couple days?
Yeah, I can do 2 days.
2 days. I'm
I'd be
assuming, I'm
pretty-
assuming not driving.
I've done 36 hours
Why? Was that
a couple times.
was that RMIT race day thingy? No, Swinburne race day.
One of them was.
Yeah.
That was mental.
That
Because that wasn't just like, oh, I'm awake for 36 hours. That was like, I was doing stuff constantly, driving and stuff for 36
he
hours.
didn't crash.
Oh, the final drive when I got home,
Almost crashed.
It was like 4 in the morning. I don't even remember when I started. I just lost so much track of time. I don't know how long I was going for. That was bad. But normally, I reckon I could probably do, yeah, about that. 30. Like, if I was just
36
not
to 40.
pushing myself, like 36, 40 hours.
Okay.
But, like, this is the thing. I can go not sleeping. But once I do sleep, getting up is really hard.
I think that's the one thing. Like
I hate early mornings.
I've started doing early mornings and I can do them effortlessly now. And I know if the day where I'm like, oh, I've been working, I'll just sleep until 10. Once I do that, I will never wake up at 7 again, ever.
Yeah, I notice I can do early mornings if I consistently do early mornings and go to bed early. But as soon as I get a break, I'm like, oh, I'll just stay up to like 12.
Actually, regardless, if I keep the same wake up time, I can do it regardless of what time I go to bed. Obviously, if it's 2 hours beforehand.
I can't do that. I notice as soon as I say, oh, I'll go to bed at 12, I'll go to bed at 1, then I'll wake up and it'll be like 11.
Depends what I'm
in the
doing.
morning.
If I had to wake up and be like, I've got to go do another shift at Big W, it's going to struggle to get up. If I have to wake up and it's like, we're going to go have beers on the beach and just eat hot dogs, yeah, I'll probably get up pretty easily.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I mean, like, I've always struggled a bit with mornings. I'm never good at mornings. But
That's why I really want to be like properly self-employed. And
can
then
I
I can
grab some of the water?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that all good? Thank you. We're just going to destroy the set of it.
No,
That's
that's
fine. We'll keep things convenient.
all
Fine.
good. So cold, 100% better.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so
It's not even a question.
trying to move this so I can be in shot. All right, find another good one. Nope. I really wish we could just scroll through these. Most of these are just garbage. Or just topics I really don't want to discuss. What? I like sand in the bed. Not me, this person. This is perhaps the weirdest thing I feel comfort in, and I thought this was the right place to post it.
No. There's no place to post that.
Edit. I'm sorry, Anakin.
No.
No.
Um,
Not even the fact that just sand on the skin, like that's not the problem. It's in the bed. It's as bad as like when you got crumbs in the bed. Just no.
Just no. It's like
Absolutely not.
it's everything bad about that. What was I going to say? I had an unpopular opinion that I was about to say, and I forgot it. And that's really this is a common thing for me to do now.
Just forget.
Yeah, keep going. It'll come back to me.
Okay, we'll keep
It'll
going. I also need to optimize this setup for 2 people. The table's very small for 2 people. I think next time I would flip the table long ways towards the camera and then facing each other.
Hey, that's a pretty cool idea. I remember my thing as well.
Yeah.
Just before you read yours. There is not, and I hate it when people talk about the science.
The science, as
Like,
in
have you ever, like-
referring to science as one
Yeah,
thing.
when people are like, oh, they don't believe in the science, or
Ah.
they don't listen to the science. There's
Well,
not the science. The science isn't a
It's
thing.
science.
Science is not science
It's
in
plural.
general isn't a thing.
Plural. Yeah.
It's a method. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I hate it when people forget that. I mean, not even to forget that. When they're like, oh, why don't you, you don't believe in science. I mean, you don't really.
You can't not believe in science, regardless you believe it or not. It's gonna
Whether or
happen.
not, yeah, you might disagree. I don't know. That might make me sound like, I don't know, like I'm some kind of anti-vaxxer, flat earther. But that's one thing that yes, those people are probably wrong, but I respect their endeavor to try and find information nonetheless.
Ooh, actually, that does bring up a thing.
It's a good mentality in some respects.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the comedian Jim Jeffries shows? Aussie dude.
I know of him. I don't really like him.
He did one bit on society, and he put it like a one long train, and he's got, like, if it's like 10 cars, you've got the first 8 cars,
Yeah.
which are just everyone, and you've got the 9th car, which is all the religious nuts, and then you've got the 10th car at the front, which is all the scientists trying to come up with cures and vaccines and stop us all from dying. And they're like, if we just pulled the pin that connects the scientists to the religious nuts, the train would go so much quicker.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
But then everyone else would also get left behind.
Yeah, that's all true.
So,
Is what it is, I guess. Actually, there's another controversial thing I come down on. Where do you come down on religion? What's your belief system? You have to go into too much detail of that, but do you blend different ones? Do you make up your own? Are you
no,
a Scientologist?
no. Ooh,
Are you?
never looked into it. I probably should.
I don't know. What is his name? Zerg? Or is that Toy Story?
That
big
sounds
fucking
something.
big alien that's gonna come back.
Alien Daddy's gonna come back and save us.
Tom Cruise is gonna save us all.
Look, no. I'm generally speaking, I'm not religious. I grew up Christian. I think the values of the Christianity is good. I don't know too much about most other religions. I know a little bit about a few others. But generally speaking, I think most religions have good values.
Yeah.
So I respect people that believe in them. I don't necessarily believe in religion for the pure fact of I don't think we would know about
The greater
the
power.
creating power if there is one.
Nor could we comprehend, I think.
Like,
if we found out, we'd
if-
die.
If there was one, why would we be told about it? There's nothing particularly special about us.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think there's nothing.
Yeah. So you're
I'm not sure.
atheist.
I wouldn't say I'm strictly atheist. I'd say is it agnostic?
That's
That's
right,
the
yeah.
one I would say I'm closest
You
to.
believe in the thing, you don't know what the thing is.
Yeah, I'd say there might be something.
There's something there.
Maybe.
Could be fairies, could be God, could be Elon Musk.
The Matrix.
Do you believe that? You've got to believe in the simulation theory then.
The simulation theory is a pretty compelling one.
Oh, 100%. It's just a numbers game at that point.
That makes it even more interesting than of when we die, what do we become?
Which
Because
loading times.
that would mean that we're a program, right?
Yeah.
What does a program do when does it just end and then we're...
Either restarts.
But then we're run
ends,
by power, so that power's got to be redistributed to something.
Wait for a sequel.
Makes
to
me
come
wonder
out.
what the soul is. It's all very
Programs
complicated.
have a soul.
No, but we
Oh.
have a soul. Well, maybe we don't have a soul, but we've got conscience.
Oh, God, I remember that being a topic in high school's religious education exam.
So
You don't-
we've got like...
We were year 9. They're like, question 3, what is conscience? I'm like, the hell?
Well, I mean,
I'm too sober for this question.
That's a very good question. What is it?
I feel like that's a
I mean, like,
science
you
question,
could
a
just say,
religious
like...
question.
I'd say it's both.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, I'd say, like, for example, right? I mean, you could very simply just say it's the being self-aware.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to it than just that. I mean, if you think about it, your brain operates just like a computer, right?
Oh.
So what makes you particularly self-aware? What makes you think the way we do and aware of what we do and not just operate?
I think you could do well in that field. I feel like engineering might not be your core.
I don't know. I mean, engineering probably pays better.
Yeah, actually, you know.
What field is that? Just
There's a word.
field of just.
No, there's a word for it. I just can't think. It's not anthropology. That's not the
I
word.
was going to
looking
say
for. It's,
field of asking weird questions that no one knows how to
philosophy.
answer that, but that's just philosophy. And
I mean, that's just what a PhD is.
I
isn't
am not a philosopher.
it? Did you get a PhD?
A PhD in
philosophy.
philosophy.
No, they're all in philosophy.
PhD.
That's what the P stands for, isn't it?
I don't know what the P No, what does it?
PhD.
I mean, not all
stands for
PhDs are in philosophy.
Doctor of Philosophy. That's what the whole thing stands for. PhD is short for Doctor of Philosophy. There you go. Just get a freaking PhD, man.
Something doesn't seem right there, but okay.
Okay, let's continue. I had something else I was going to ask. I think it's skated by.
Oh
No.
no, you're doing a me.
Yeah, dude, I'm turning into you now. We spent too much time together.
I'm the kind of person that will zone out and just stare at you on a train.
Ooh, adults who are obsessed with Disney are kind of creepy.
A little bit.
Depends to what degree, I guess.
Yeah.
If you just watch the movies, that's fine. But if you've got
You're like full,
all the memorabilia.
Frozen fanatic. Yeah, maybe.
Have you seen that
it's a bit
person in
odd.
Japan who's got his house is just complete kitted out in Hello Kitty?
Yeah, that's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look,
Be into Hello Kitty, but
if
you
you
don't
like-
need the body pillar.
yeah, if you like Disney, go for it. But if you start dressing up like Elsa,
Yeah, and it's not even the problem that it's like a princess; it's the fact that it's a kids' cartoon.
yeah, no, it's the immaturity of it. I think it's like you got to be an adult at some point.
Yeah, unless I guess it's your job if you work at Disney.
But I guess then you'd have to say that to all the people that go to anime conventions
Cosplay,
and
yeah.
cosplay. So
Ooh, here's one. Now I do both of these. Actually, I do more than this, but showering at night is better than showering in the morning.
I prefer showering in the morning.
I'd argue it depends on the season.
It depends what I've done during the day.
That too, actually. Yeah. Like in the winter, I'd prefer to shower in the morning because getting out of the shower in winter, like our heater doesn't work that well, so it's a bit more painful, I guess.
It's harder to get into the shower though in the morning in
Yeah.
winter. But I would say like I prefer showering in the morning generally just because it means that I'm more pleasant. Like, I mean, okay, if I had to do one or the other, I would always shower in the morning then because I'm more pleasant to be around
Yeah.
people during the day. Whereas like showering at night, you've got all the sweat you had from the night.
Exactly, and you end up washing your sheets like twice as much.
Oh, you'd probably wash your sheets less if you showered at night. Cause
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
But showering during the night has its advantages.
I think I might be the cause for water droughts. I shower 3 times a day.
I shower twice a day mostly.
Twice a day is like the absolute.
Unless I do absolutely nothing, then I might do once. But normally it's twice.
Yeah. It'd be annoying because I would do when I was at Big W, I would shower before a 2-hour shift or a 3-hour shift, and then I'd shower when I get back. I have to wash work off. It's just gross.
Yeah, I can feel
Retail is just. Kids under the age of 12 shouldn't have access to the internet. I feel like that should be rephrased to leisurely. Like I feel like you still need it for school to some
that.
degree.
Yeah, the problem with that is the reality of it is not going to happen.
Exactly. Now, maybe 10 years ago,
Kids under 12 shouldn't have a phone is a good one, I think.
shouldn't have a phone that can. They should have a phone that literally has a button that says "Call Mum or Dad." That's literally it.
Yeah, but do they even really need that? Like, really?
Maybe not.
What is your kid doing that they really need a
Well, I
phone
mean, you get to
to
go
call
to
you an emergency?
shops or whatever, miss the bus, school's ended,
Yeah.
some crap like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, they don't need. You could literally give
An
them like
emergency phone.
a Nokia 3210.
Yeah,
Give
I
them that.
mean,
Literally,
like,
that's all they need.
okay, kids under 12 don't need a smartphone.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with that. Give them the
It's
old
just-
school
you're just
80s brick.
you're just preparing them for
Depression.
bad.
Unless they somehow, I don't know, they end up on the next TikTok and become a
I-
millionaire before the age of 14.
I do feel bad for parents though, in the respect that like it must be a lot easier to to just like if the kid's crying or whatever, it must
Give
be a
them a
lot
phone or
easier
an
just to
iPad.
be easier to give them a smartphone or an iPad and just be like, yeah, watch this, play this
I
app.
wonder if there's more pressure now. Like if you're a
The
parent.
problem is like later down the road, it makes it really hard, and there's probably a lot more pressure now because all the other kids at school have them.
Exactly, and if you're not earning as much as those parents, and you can't like if you don't have an iPhone as a parent, why are you going to give your kid one?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of issues with it, but
Because now there's going to be a whole bullying thing if that kid doesn't have a phone, and then all the other kids do. Like it's a whole other thing. School's a waste of time.
you're gonna
Anyways,
you're gonna make it a fashion thing now, not to have.
it is legit. It's all when I was in.
No, you're gonna make it a fashion thing not to have a.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Razer came out with their phone this year, the little flip. Still got a touchscreen and stuff, but I remember in high school it was all about the iPhone 4S, and the whole fashion thing was the cases, phone cases.
Well, I never got a smartphone until year 9, I think.
Oh, that's fine.
Maybe, yeah, year 9.
I had like a Nokia flip up until then.
I had
Or
a
version
I had
of
a
it.
brick.
I had one of those keyboard slider ones, but I didn't have a smartphone.
I had a brick, and the only thing I used it for was playing Snake.
I was so much more easily satisfied back then. Now I'm like, oh, this game better not have in-game transactions. I better be able
It
to.
better not have a single ad.
Yeah,
better
no
the pop-up
ads.
ad, it's deleted.
But I wanted 3D animations. Nope. I mean, Facebook is poison and everyone should delete it. If we didn't use Messenger as our primary form of contact and we were on WhatsApp, I would, like for everybody, I'd probably delete Facebook.
Yeah, I think Facebook's kind of toxic. I think social media is kind of toxic.
100%.
But
That's not even an opinion anymore.
no, it's kind of.
That's just fact.
But it is good to have it as a platform. I think it just needs to be moderated better. I think having one of them as a platform to a degree is really good, particularly with the messenger side of it. Being able to keep in contact with people you normally wouldn't.
Because I think Messenger, you can still see the Facebook stories. So in reality, if you just delete the Facebook app, you get all the Messenger features. You get the stories feature. That's like
Yeah.
your statuses or whatever. No
I
ads
think Instagram's worse than Facebook.
for that kind of thing. They are recently. Because I know you don't use it very often, but it used to be literally on your homepage, you'd only see the people you follow. So whatever they've posted. So at some point in the day, you will run out of refreshing and nothing else will come up.
Yeah.
Now, once you run out of that and you scroll, it just shows you other people's random stuff. So you could literally infinitely scroll for the next 15 hours.
Because I feel like Instagram, there's nothing really to go off. Like Facebook's bad for this too, but Instagram, there's really nothing to go off beyond just how many likes you get.
Nope, they've gotten rid of that now. You can't see.
You can't see how many people liked your thing.
No, unless you want to go manually count it.
Oh.
You as a person, you can see how much likes a photo of yours has gotten, but if you go scroll on someone else, it does not give you a number. But you can click on like amount.
I'm
You
not
can
the
click
most
on the list.
qualified person to be speaking about this. Clearly,
I spend too much time on Instagram, but you can click on the list and you could start scrolling. And obviously, if you're scrolling for more than 5 seconds, you know there's a lot of
Yeah.
likes on that thing.
but I feel like Instagram's much more of like a platform where it's just, you know, the whole instant gratification.
The
behind
photo's
it
much more
is-
pleasing to the eye than it is. A
It's
Facebook
much
status.
more important than on Facebook.
I treat my Instagram way too much like an art gallery.
Yeah. Oh, your Instagram's actually really nice to look through. I like your photos.
I should have more. There's only like 15 on there.
Is that on the Clemency one? Or is that
Yeah,
on
I
the other one?
deleted the other ones,
Okay.
which is why all my business cards are useless now. They've got my old account on them. No, that's boring. Eventually, you'll find another one.
Everyone's probably like, "What am I looking at?" Because I don't. When I look forward, I'm not actually looking at the camera. I'm looking.
I know
past
it's a
it.
bit disconcerting because there's so much going on in front.
Yeah, there's a lot of setup and stuff, just things, just a lot of things pointing at me right
There
now.
is. To put it into perspective, to set up for the podcast alone or anything I shoot here, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah. I feel like a deer
I
in
can
the
now-
spotlight.
Oh, 100%. I now see why people hire people to do these things. Now everything's just getting... All the other ones are just too political and boring.
Yeah. I kind of like avoiding those topics if I generally can.
Exactly. I just like... I really don't care.
Unless I'm like really drunk and shit talking.
Oh, here's cool.
That's a different scenario though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's usually just trying to piss somebody off for the sake of it.
I know. I've noticed with you. This one's good since we were in lockdown. I remember you started Duolingo and you were learning
Oh, I did that.
Japanese,
Yeah, Japanese and French.
School should start teaching children a second language as soon as they start school. Although I feel like in Australia they do that.
They don't, maybe not as soon as you start, but they did it from like
By
grade
year
3 or so.
1 or 2, yeah.
I remember because that was actually what got me doing Japanese, was that I started Japanese back in like grade 4, 5.
Yeah.
And I was never good at it. I did Japanese from grade 4 to year 9, and I was terrible at it. And basically, it was one of those things that like I was so bad at it, I just never got the hang of it. And that was one of the reasons it was the first language I chose to try and relearn, because I was like,
Go back and actually finish it.
I need to get somewhere
The
with
completionist
this.
within you.
I need to do something, like maybe not like get good at it, but I need to
Understand
get
it.
somewhere. After like 9, I don't know, no, not 9 years, like a lot of years of maybe 4 or 5 years of just having it spoken to me and getting nothing. I'm like, I need to go somewhere with
I remember reading, I think, probably another Reddit post, but it's like you only need to learn like 1,500 words maybe within the language to be mostly fluent, to have
Yeah,
regular
look,
conversation.
I mean, I'm definitely better at it. I let that slip. I need to get back onto it. But
Give us a sentence in Japanese. Just a
Oh.
phrase.
maybe, I mean, like, probably. It's hard to be put on the spot. I'm definitely a lot better at understanding it than I am at like pulling stuff out to say. And if I said something, it would probably just be the most random, pointless sentence.
That's fine.
But like I've learnt a little bit about how the language works and how to understand it. That if someone was to speak to me in it, I'm still not good at it. Remember, I haven't been doing it for that long.
Yeah.
If someone's speaking to me in it, I can start pointing out maybe what they are talking about.
The overall topic, but you won't get the
Yeah.
nuances.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
That makes sense.
We're making slow progress on that front.
I should probably do this because I do want to go to Japan. But from what I hear, if you go to Japan, you can get by pretty easily without knowing Japanese
Apparently,
because it's so
not-
touristy.
yeah, apparently it's not too bad.
Apparently, Google Translate actually works pretty well. You can like take photos of stuff, and yeah,
I think reading is probably the hard part there.
it's because it's so like reading German and stuff. It's still English letters.
Even if it's
same.
not, it's close enough too.
Exactly.
Whereas like and a lot of the characters in Japanese look very similar. There's like maybe like a little inflection on it or something that makes it different, and that changes the whole word, and that just makes it really difficult.
This one you'll have some.
And there's
sort of
3 alphabets:
Oh, screw that. I one of them's kanji. That's all I know.
kanji, hiragana, and katakana.
Actually, I played games on this. I remember now.
Yeah.
You'll have some sort of opinion on this. Probably very heated. It's pretty rude. Just because we live in Africa doesn't mean we don't have basic amenities.
True.
I feel like
For some people there.
I feel like most countries though, there'll be a very large portion of the US that don't have basic amenities.
Yeah, I mean,
There's homeless people everywhere.
and my family was all from Africa. They all have
South, yeah.
South
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah.
Africa, the continent. South Africa, the country.
Hmm.
Keep looking at that camera, even though it's dead.
It might be recording. It has a tendency to overheat. I need to fix it. That's all right.
Look, if you go there, there's a lot of houses. It's got infrastructure. There's power, toilets for a lot of people. You know, it's just like anywhere else in the world. But there's also a lot of poor people. There's a lot of homeless. There's a lot of slums. The disparity is greater, is basically the way I would put it. So there's still people that are doing well. There's also just a lot of people doing a lot worse. The gap is a lot greater.
Yeah.
And it's hard to think like if I think the best way to put it is when you think of like global standards, right? So if we would compare some of my family there, most of my family there, at least now, are doing really well for being in South Africa, which is, from where a lot of them came from is pretty surprising. But the thing to remember is even like the most successful family member I have over there, if they were to come here, like they live in a really nice house. They're in a gated community. They've got.
It's very like suburban-y.
It's way nicer than what we have here.
Yeah.
Where they live is like really nice.
Like resorty.
Almost, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like they've got a really nice place there. But if they were to come here, they'd be
It would
like,
feel like a massive step down.
yeah, they'd be like middle of the road. They'd have like, meh. It'd be nothing. It would be nothing special here.
Yeah.
Where, like, well, sorry, what they could get here would be nothing special. But because the disparity is greater, they can get so much more
For less money.
on like what we'd think is average money.
Wow.
If you were to compare it to, if you
Yeah.
convert it to AUD at least,
What's the currency in South Africa?
rand.
Rand. Okay.
So it's like the disparity is a lot larger, I think, is the thing that makes it so notable.
Yeah.
Is that you either do well or you struggle. And if you struggle there's not a lot to help you get back up.
So once you're down, you're pretty much down for the count.
Yeah, it's a big fight to get out of it.
Oof. So it's almost like a fight to keep people down there from the top almost. From
Yeah.
Like the really
Oh,
high up, not like in the middle.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but yeah, it's probably in some cases that may be true.
Okay.
It benefits them some, well, it probably benefits some people to keep it that way.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah, from their incomes and things like that.
Mm.
Because I imagine if you did try and change it, then whoever's at the top of the thing would just get taxed a crap ton.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, we're like quite a relatively linear, like, you know, as you go up.
Growth.
And even on the bottom, I think actually probably the biggest thing here is like on the bottom you have support.
Yeah.
Just there's no support at the
You're
bottom.
just out.
And yeah, it's a much larger disparity. Like you can be driving, I think like the biggest thing that stood out to me was driving around, and I think we were in Joburg. And yeah, this is in Joburg. And we were going around and all the houses there are quite rough, and you don't want to go in the city because it's
Yeah.
pretty bad. And we're in like not the nicest area of Joburg, and you know there's a lot of houses with like, when I say like gated, I mean as in the houses have barbed wire fences around them and
Yeah.
bars over the window kind of thing.
Jesus.
And next minute there's an Audi R8 driving past and there's a Rolls Royce dealership.
Christ, all right.
So there's some people there that are doing well. And
Very well, yeah.
I mean, like, look, there are a lot of people there that aren't scraping to get by. But it's just that there's a lot of people there that are in really
Worse.
bad spots.
No. Okay. No,
That was maybe a long segue.
No, that's fine. When Queen Elizabeth dies, the throne should die with her. I mean, it won't, but I don't think there's anything that's going to take down that monarch unless there's another bloody revolution.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really do anything nowadays anymore.
It's just, I'm sick of the news things that there's a new baby. I just couldn't care less.
I have no opinion on the royal family.
Yeah. I'd have a better opinion if they gave me money, but
Yeah, I mean, look, cool. It's a cool thing. I kind of think it's just a cool thing to keep alive, just because
there's not really anywhere else that I can think of has a monarchy.
Thailand is a pure monarchy.
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
they still operate off the king.
Huh.
There's a few countries that still have, you know, royal families and stuff, but I think it's just like it'd be. I don't know. It's kind of senseless, and there's no real logic behind it. It'd just be kind of. It's just kind of cool to keep.
Okay, makes sense. That was a quick one. That's an easy one. This is just stupid. Preheating the oven is a scam ran by the government to take your money. Every time I
Jesus
fucking buy a
Christ.
frozen pizza, I put that sassy bitch right in the oven when I start it on.
I do that sometimes too.
Depends how lazy I am. If
Yeah.
it's something I'm trying to like bake from scratch, I'll probably preheat it just so it doesn't burn and I forget.
Yeah, I mean, look, scam is maybe a bit of a
strong,
stretch,
yeah.
but yeah, I guess like some cases it's unnecessary. Although oven pizzas, whilst I do respect the oven pizza, I have my fair share of oven pizzas. They're the scam because they're really expensive.
Oh, they're so expensive. They're as much as a Domino's like
yeah,
medium.
and they're not as good.
No, but I do like a Super Supreme frozen pizza, and I don't know why. It has a very bland taste. It's not that great, crispy. It's pretty doughy. I don't know why. It tastes cheap and it tastes
know-
pretty decent.
I know what you mean. It's like, have you ever had just the what's the red and yellow packaging?
That's like McCain's.
McCain's. Have you
Yeah.
just ever had a McCain's just ham and cheese.
Yeah, they're good. I don't know why.
They're just
They're
I mean, they're
awful
not-
pizzas.
they're not good, but I just like to eat them.
Yeah. It's same with like you've had proper ramen before, like at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but I still like 2-minute noodles.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's garbage.
Yeah, or
Awful
like,
for you.
not like mee goreng.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. It's terrible for me, but it's good
I
stuff.
know. Makes me shit my pants every single time, but it's great. Tastes nice. I've lost my Reddit. Give me a sec. I don't know.
I
Cheap
wonder-
pizza tastes good.
Cheap pizza. I mean, I probably should just make my own pizzas more often, really.
Oh, it's so easy, but it's
not.
not an effort. Mess.
Yeah, it's just like getting the stuff is just annoying.
I'm just gonna join this subreddit.
More than anything, it's just getting the stuff.
Yeah, depends what if you're trying to make. If you're gonna make a meat lover's pizza from scratch, that's 10 times more of a pain than if you were just gonna do a sauce, cheese, bit of basil. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, I don't know. I just...
Oh my god, we were actually really far down this list, and I lost it. It's still on the showering one. Nope.
As a...
There's a lot of political ones of just no, no. Nope, not touching that topic with a 10-foot pole. No.
This is why when you initially asked me what are my unpopular opinions, I was just like,
There's
I
too
don't
many.
like where this is gonna go.
This is interesting. Kids who succeed academically deserve more scholarships than kids who succeed in sports teams. We
Oh,
don't get a lot of that here. That's more of a
That's
US
not a
thing.
problem for us, really. Yeah,
But like you see them like football scholarships and basketball scholarships. And it's because all the schools put so much of their money into the bloody sports
yeah, it's
teams.
because of the way it works over there.
I don't think there's
because-
such thing unless you
Well, I mean,
at the Olympic level here.
the thing is in the US though is like those college teams are the feeder teams.
They're
into-
semi-professional, yeah.
into professional, so it's a bit different there, which makes it hard for me to judge.
Like, would you put more merit into a year 12 kid who somehow has the academic ability, like they're going into medicine or whatever, and they're at the academic level of like a senior university student versus a kid in year 12 who can play basketball on the same level as a globetrotter?
But that exists.
It does exist, but which would you place more value on, personally? The medicine or like a NBA prodigy?
Ooh.
This is not saying he would become a doctor, but he just shows promise in the field.
It's well, I mean, that's also to say it's not like the guy might decide not to become an NBA player.
True.
But I mean, it's hard because both have their own talents and their own rights. Yeah, like you don't necessarily need to be academically smart to be talented.
That's true.
I
I'm neither, and I'm here.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't that particularly academically smart. I just bashed my head through engineering until I eventually got to the end,
Yeah.
which I'm still not there. Well, I'm close-ish now, but that wasn't a graceful,
Fall.
oh, I'm just going to pass. That was very much just smashing my head into a table
Until it works.
Maybe I eventually understood a topic, but look, I think both have their places to a degree. In
Yeah.
Australia, it's not such a big thing because the universities don't have the sports teams that are important. Like,
Yeah, that's not a big thing here. Like, they
Not
have
at all.
clubs, and if you join, like, Swinburne or Monash, there'll be a squash team that you can play on weekends or whatever.
yeah, but
Like,
like,
it's not competitive.
yeah, well, I mean, for example,
pleasure.
like Swinburne's soccer team is literally just
Couple dudes,
playing in
yeah.
the same leagues as any of your weekend soccer teams. There's
Nothing special. You're not going to
particularly-
get scouted for a professional team there. It's
No.
not going to happen. Maybe at some other unis. Like, I'm trying to think what would be. None of them have that big of a. It's if you're going to get scouted for a sports team from an academic, that'll happen in high school.
the honestly, the closest thing I can think of here is Formula Student.
Yeah, then you go
Because-
to F1 and
Because then, yeah, like companies do actually look at the engineers in there and go, you know, we might take one of you. But that's about the closest. And even then, it's not like it is in Europe.
I feel like if you're in the US, you're more likely to accidentally fall into a professional sports league than you are here. Here, you'd have to
Yeah.
go out of your way. Like I had a kid in primary school who drove go-karts like competitively,
Yeah.
and now he's a professional go-kart driver person. I don't know. I don't know if it's go-karts still. Like I'm sure it's
Yeah,
cars of some sort.
Gone on to race cars.
But like that's not a freaking school sport he could have picked up
No.
on Thursday afternoon.
Well, like
You've got to go
I
searching
did
for
soccer throughout my entire time as a kid, and I never played it really through school. I played 1 year in
Yeah.
school at the school round robin thing,
Mm.
and it was all right, but it was never a big deal. If anyone ever wanted to get anywhere proper with it, you'd train outside of school for another team,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually you would move into a higher up league, say like NPL, and then from there you'd eventually then start getting scouted for semi-professional teams, and then from there to professional.
yeah.
But it was never done through
God, no.
our academic education
Unless you're
system.
you'd have to be like ridiculous, and then a teacher will go source somebody like, dude, you got to come check out this kid. But you'd need to be like,
Even then,
you'd need to be a kid who's putting up like Olympic level numbers on your athletics day for that to happen.
yeah, like the
someone else
schools
to go
just
out of their
didn't
way.
facilitate for that. So if you were that good, you were probably doing it outside of school anyway.
Exactly. All the really good athletics kids were already doing athletics on Sundays.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. That doesn't exist.
That's the part
here.
of US
and
culture
and
that
the
baffles
other
me.
the other problem that we have here as well, like we say, the really smart kids need scholarships, is they do exist, but there's not that many of them. But we also don't really need them.
We've
as
got
much
HECS and
because
everything
we've
like
got
that.
the HECS.
US unis, you got to pay up front and you don't go.
Yeah, we can get effectively a loan from the government. With,
Which no one intends to ever pay back.
Yeah, which you just kind of get, and then you forget about it, and then you start getting taxed. And you're like, oh,
That's the thing.
I need to pay that back.
Oh yeah. You'll like this one because you like Mexican food a lot.
I do.
You do love Mexican food.
I like a lot of food.
Hard tacos actually suck and are the inferior taco delivery service.
Inferior is correct, but they don't suck.
True. I do like them. That's the thing. A hard taco just feels like having a burrito bowl with nachos kind of thing. Because it's just a
sometimes
giant corn chip.
Yeah, but sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just get the hard taco and I just
Crush
break it up.
100%.
And then I just eat that. That's good.
But soft tacos and burritos. Oh,
They are definitely better.
Oh, GYG burritos with the rice. They do this weird rice with black beans and
Oh,
lime.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It took me a minute to get what you meant with GYG for a second. Then, but yeah.
Working there is awful. So bad.
That GYG is good stuff.
Top tier Mexican food.
Don't even at me. Don't even.
Someone will, I'm sure.
one of the three
One of
people
the
that will
yeah.
listen to me.
I think it's like maybe 7.
If anyone is still listening to what I've just
Hour
been-
17 in.
just the random garbage that's been coming out of my mouth.
Orange juice with pulp is better than orange juice without pulp.
Nah, I don't care.
Don't care. You'll drink either.
Yeah.
I prefer with though. I don't know. I like oranges, but it's a pain to actually eat an orange and it gets messy. So I'd rather drink it, have the pulp, you still get the texture, and I don't know.
How do
Depends
you
how
eat
pulpy.
oranges? Is
It's
my question.
slicing it into the little wedges, and you eat like you would
eat the
watermelon.
wedges. So you
Yeah.
eat the wedges. I used to do the wedges, and now I peel
Just
it.
cut it all off into a bowl.
Now I peel it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would, but that's just a lot of effort.
it is, but it's so worth it.
If like you know how you can buy canned
Unless
pineapple?
you get seeds. If
Oh.
you peel it and then there's seeds, then it's just
That's why I don't like mandarins.
aggravating. I don't like mandarins that much either.
I have to I do the whole
taste is
scan them in
good.
the light so you can see if there's a pip.
Yeah, and then pop the pip out of it.
Then you eat
The mandarins taste good, but they're too much effort.
100%.
And not enough food.
I agree with that. Like if you could buy, you know how you can get pineapple in a can. If you
Yeah.
could buy tinned oranges, I'd do that. You can get peaches in a jar. I don't mind those. The
Yeah,
syrup,
alright. Yeah.
they're good on
They're
ice
not
cream.
I'd rather them in juice than syrup, but
Vanilla Coke is the best Coke flavor, even better than regular.
I like vanilla Coke.
Vanilla Coke's so good.
I do like vanilla Coke.
But I'm team Pepsi over Coke.
Yes,
I'll take vanilla Pepsi over vanilla Coke.
Oh, yeah, okay. If we're gonna bring Pepsi into the mix, sure, but
It needs more vanilla flavor. I'll be honest with you. It needs more vanilla.
unpopular opinion: Pepsi is better than Coke. There you go.
No, that's fact. Coke is gold awful.
Oh, you're gonna set a riot if you continue that.
That's
that-
fine. Just comment.
Comment your beliefs on Pepsi
Exactly.
and Coke, and give us your reason why.
Regular Coke's flavor and bubbliness is too sharp. Regular
Yeah.
Pepsi, you know, the Pepsi that's just in the straight blue bottle, just tastes like nothing. Pepsi Max has the good flavor. I do not like regular Pepsi.
I actually don't mind Pepsi Max. I prefer regular Pepsi, but I don't mind Max.
I'd love to know what the chemical difference is. I would laugh if they're both the exact same. Like, pick Coke and Pepsi, and it's just a thing in our heads that they taste different.
No, there's got to be a slight difference.
I don't know if there's got to be.
Out of curiosity, what is the time limit on these podcasts? I'm not like saying that because I want to necessarily
Nothing.
leave. I'm just curious if there's a cutoff point in which like 3 hours.
I
in?
probably wouldn't go longer than 3. But if we're in a thing and we're in a zone at 3 hours, I'll just leave it. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. No, I was just interested.
5-hour podcast
Because when
episode.
you're like an hour and 12, I was like, whoa,
Ah,
people going to be listening for this long?
just
Maybe
discussing random crap. Yeah.
if you're listening, comment.
Yeah. If you got this far, comment the word
I don't,
Rottweiler. Cheesy Rottweiler. Comment
Cheesy-
cheesy Rottweiler if you got
Cheesy
this far.
Rottweiler. Mm.
I'm going to forget that I said that, and then I'm going to start getting emails about comments saying cheesy Rottweiler. Oh, that's just a wrong opinion. Fried chicken is disgusting. They're either wrong or they've just had god awful fried chicken.
I don't think... I'm kind of hiding behind my mic a little bit at this point too.
That's just the way I've set it up.
I
It's
wish you could audibly hear the cringe coming out of me right now. I'm not going to
awful. No.
I could
Don't, please don't read.
I could read.
That's rule number 1 on the podcast, no
No re.
no.
I'm not in the mood to re. If I was to re, I would have already
Read. Okay.
and it would have been a good re. There's no like you don't half-ass a re.
Oh my god. This is just fact. All recipes should use metric measurements.
Everything should use
Exactly.
metric measurements.
Imperial is interesting to look at, and then when you look at them, I never want to use them ever.
I'm trying to think of cases where imperial is acceptable and there's
I feel like height, because
Height
everyone has
is
a gauge of
okay.
height in feet and inches.
height is okay.
But the only reason I know meters and centimeters in height is because I go, 180, that's like 6 foot.
Yeah, that's why height's okay. There's maybe a few other exceptions, but like for example, if I go to when I go to the gym and they're using pounds,
It's a nightmare.
why? Why pounds?
They need to hand you a device
They're
when you
such
walk
a
in that
useless
instantly-
unit.
I can't convert it in my head.
And anytime I'm doing like this as an engineer, units like imperial units just kill my soul.
I'm trying to think, what's like the strangest unit of measuring anything that you've come across? Like there's obviously like we've got the standard centimeter, millimeter, meter,
Oh,
but then
there's
you've
a
got stuff like
bunch of
microns,
odd
Kelvin.
things. I mean, Kelvin is just
Foot
Celsius. Kelvin is just Celsius, but you start 0 at absolute 0. Other than
Yes.
that, it's exactly the same.
Do we have a number for absolute zero yet? Like what it
Yeah,
actually is?
like negative 273.3 or something.
We just can't reach it yet.
No.
And
Well,
what was the benefit of reaching absolute zero? I can't remember.
the atoms literally stop moving.
So if you could freeze someone at absolute zero, we don't know if you could bring them back, but then they would effectively be properly frozen and not age or crap like
Nothing would move.
Okay.
They would like I don't even know if it's physically possible to do it. Like you would things would it would stop just everything. Everything to the most basic principles would stop.
So theoretically, if you had a
Functioning.
time control device that froze time, literally it would do a weird thing where it chucks the world in a weird
I have no
absolute ice
idea.
age or
The
something.
closest thing I can think of to this is the death of the universe referred to as the Great Freeze, where
So, but they do like the second coming of the ice age or something like that.
no, way worse. So
Oh, okay. There we go.
if you think of it, so in thermodynamics, there's a limited amount of energy in the universe, which means that heat, which is just a form of energy, there's a limited amount of heat in the universe.
Yeah.
And
Can't
think of
create new
like
stuff.
yeah, so think of like if you have the same amount of heat, right, in a small area, the temperature's high. So if you imagine you put like you put a lighter on the end of a pin for 30 seconds and you touch the end of the pin, the temperature will be like really hot, right? But if you did the same thing to a whole plate and then you touch the paint, you wouldn't really feel it
Condensed energy.
because the
versus-
same amount of energy is in the pin as the plate, but it's spread out way more. So it made less difference. The Great Freeze is effectively the universe expands so wide that the heat energy is so dispersed that we start approaching absolute zero and everything just starts, like all the atoms
Stopping.
just start slowing down and stop moving.
So would that be like an alternate end to another Big Bang kind of thing? So either
There's
we'd
a-
have a whole freeze, or there'd be another explosion and everything would just reset.
There's a few. Yeah, there's a few. There's like there's like a collapse that could happen. There's a whole bunch of
Have you seen
different things.
Interstellar?
I have seen Interstellar.
Good movie.
But yeah,
No
I mean,
spoilers.
like, absolute.
what you mean.
Basically, yeah, absolute zero is the point at which atoms stop moving. So you can't go below that.
Yeah.
Because then, well, you just can't. Think of it like cold is just the absence of heat.
Yeah.
So absolute zero is no heat, no energy,
Absolutely zero hit.
no energy at all.
Oh,
None.
okay.
Um,
No, I got it.
and then Kelvin is just Celsius, but from that point.
Actually, on the topic of absolute zero, there was a book I was reading like 2 years ago. It's called The Day After Tomorrow. And the entire book happens like post World War II.
That was a movie as well.
It was a movie, but it's a different movie.
Oh,
So this book like shares the title with something else. But the entire book is like post World War II. You're following 3 different people. There's a massive adventure, and it all revolves around like this briefcase or a box or something, and it's being passed around through these groups and ends up in a bunch of the places. And literally, the last like halfway through the book, they go over the topic of absolute zero because they stumble across some documents, and then literally the last sentence of the book is these 2 dudes were fighting. The briefcase fell, opened, and it was the decapitated, frozen head at absolute zero of Hitler. And that's where the book ends. So the whole
Right.
premise of the book was that there's a Nazi party and they were trying to attach that head to someone else.
they were trying to bring him back. Interesting.
It's a good book. Interesting book.
I need to read that.
It is a
That
good
sounds
book.
good.
All right. Ooh, this says PewDiePie in it. No, this just says, I honestly couldn't care less about PewDiePie or any aspect of his life.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Really nothing else to that. Babies aren't funny or entertaining.
I don't mean I
I'm
think
not a baby person.
I'm
kid
not a
person.
baby person either. I think babies can be cute and funny, but
I don't want one.
I don't want one.
Yeah.
At least not now.
I'd babysit. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. I think more than anything, babies are usually gross.
Oh, yeah, I'm on board with that. I don't want drool on me. I don't want feces on me. I can admire from a distance.
Yeah,
I'm in love with that.
at least for now. I'm not in any, and no rush. No.
I'd be more okay with a dog accidentally peeing on me than if a baby peed on me. I'd freak out more with a baby peed on me. I'd be like, this is disgusting. But if a dog would do it, I'd be like, oh, that's a bit shit.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I don't want
really-
either of them.
I
but-
wouldn't really want either of them. I probably just put them under the same sort of thing. My big thing with babies is vomit. I hate
Yeah. The weird
vomit.
thing with babies is that it's like normal. If
Oh,
a dog
no.
vomits, something's seriously wrong. But if a baby vomits, that's just
Oh, if it's
that's
a-
just the baby.
But then again, if it's a puppy, they're probably just eating grass or
Crap,
something stupid. Yeah.
That's fair enough. This one's interesting, but requires probably a lot more delve. The American
I don't mind
custom
delving.
of tipping is a toxic culture that should be abolished.
Oh god.
There's a lot of depth to that.
There's a lot of things I don't understand about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like for example, I would generally agree, but I watched a video by, I believe it was VinWiki, which if you're a car guy, you might know of. Their content's all right. Basically, they were talking about the culture around what's it, valet parking. Like the little guy, the guys that do the valet parking, and generally speaking, well, at least before listening to this, I was like, yeah, nah, tipping bad, but they effectively put it was in like with jobs like that, for example, the valet parkers could just earn minimum
salary.
wage, low salary, or if they work really hard and they get the right customers and whatnot, they can earn way more through tipping.
Yeah.
And they obviously go into a lot more depth than I do because I don't really understand it that much. But basically, I was saying like, yeah, if one guy has got like he's getting the right customers and he's working really hard and he's doing like 4 cars. I don't know what
An
the good
hour?
manner is. But yeah, let's say like 4 cars an hour. Let's say like
Could earn $80 an hour.
$10 an hour, like $10 a car. That's $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas like and in that respect, the tipping in that industry at the very least inspires them to work. They get what
Yeah.
they work for. That it's direct correlation in that respect. But at the same time, in things like what's the
Hospitality?
food. Yeah, food hospitality. I kind of feel like it's a bit harsh
Oh, it's very.
to make
Because now you got to put up
people-
with everyone's crap.
Yeah, and usually the tipping's not so good there,
It's
and
20%.
you're
on a coffee
you're
stuff.
not able to choose your customers in that respect as well. So it's definitely controversial. Not something I understand
Yeah.
very well.
Because I mean, that was similar to what the problem I had with Flight Center working there. It's commission based, so you get the lowest possible base salary they can give you.
Yeah,
And if you want an 80K salary, you can get there. You're gonna work your ass off there to get there, and it's
I mean, for some people that works. I respect
Yeah.
the idea, but it's not for everybody.
gotta. But even at that point, you still get a base salary.
Yeah,
It's not like
There's
we're gonna
still-
give you
there's still-
$2 an hour.
there is still
Livable.
a salary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know where I sit with tipping. Basically, is the end of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. No.
I'm glad I don't need to rely on tipping at the very least. Is all
Also.
I can say.
Ooh, actually, this will come back to you a little bit. Alcohol is overrated, and drinking in general is not that fun.
Yeah,
I think drink it if that's the sole activity. Yes.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
agree.
usually the fact that when you go to the bar, you're chatting, you're
I-
eating some
I
food, you're hanging
hate
out.
the idea of going out to drink.
You got to hang out, and you might have a drink.
Yeah,
That's
I hate the idea of going out to drink or getting smashed because you can. I've been very drunk.
Yeah, we've all
And-
experienced it.
And it's
yeah.
like, if it happens, and sometimes it's fun. If particularly
gives you a good story.
particularly under certain circumstances that it can happen and the stories that follow. But to go out to
Sourcing
get drunk, it doesn't work.
No.
And usually you just feel like shit, and it doesn't make the conversation any better.
Not usually, no.
It usually makes it way worse. I don't know. I'm not a.
I like the 1 to 2 drink thing where it acts as a social lubricant as opposed to
As we were
getting
talking
completely
about
wasted.
in the initial half-hour take that's not included anymore. No,
the hidden take.
I've definitely taken a
Yeah.
turn away from drinking a significant amount.
Unless it's a rare opportunity to taste like some kind of gin or something.
Oh,
that's-
look, I still drink, just not a lot.
Yeah, it's for taste and
Yeah,
for the sake of doing it. Not
I might have
getting
like
wasted.
one or two, or I maybe I'll have a bit on the right circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, it's Christmas Day, that might get interesting. We'll see. But that's kind of like, that'll be with family, friends, having fun.
Exactly.
It won't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to get absolutely smashed. Let's go to the city.
I can't imagine getting smashed at a family event. That's like the worst idea ever.
Really?
You've done it before?
It's really fun.
I don't get on with my family.
That was in South Africa. That was
Oh,
really
okay.
fun.
I feel like that's a whole different experience.
Yeah, it was interesting. My sister recovered badly after that, but it was really fun. It was really good. I mean, like at the same time, I still maintain. Yeah, for the most part, I've definitely gone away from drinking a lot of alcohol because the times where it's more just like regret than it is
Yeah.
actually enjoyable
100%.
far outweigh. And the amount of things that are stupid that you do.
Oh, dude. It's so
Like, I think back on things, I'm just like, oh, Wow.
Why?
I would never have done that.
Yeah. All right. This one you'll actually like, given your uni. I guess what you're doing. Math is actually really interesting.
No.
No.
I hate maths.
I was like,
Pure maths just kills my soul.
what about?
I mean, okay. I should say it is interesting. Ish. It's very
roughly. I don't want to do it, but if I watch a thing where they like discuss how a thing works.
I can understand. To me, it's not that interesting. It's really dry, and I kind of do it because I have to do it. And in the right circumstances, mixed with other things, it's okay. But when we're talking pure math, I don't really like just pure math. I can look. Some people they might be wired that way, and it's for them. Cool, I can get that, particularly with where maths goes. But
Oh yeah. It's a bit.
for me, it's just no. I don't find math that interesting.
I mean, I don't find school that
As
interesting.
far as engineering goes, I'm doing the math because I've got to do the math. I'm not doing it because I want to do math.
Yeah.
I much prefer the other aspects to it.
The actual physics and science.
Yeah, like the more what's the word? Like I don't the word. I need the word. The
word.
word isn't there.
For
Like when something's not as defined as definitive. Because the thing with math,
blunt
the thing is with math is it is blunt. Everything is just
estimates.
it's just like that's your answer. There's no math isn't
There's no nuance to it.
Yeah, there's no like gray area with math.
It's either wrong or right. Yeah.
Whereas like
Science and
I prefer the more wide
spectrums.
The things that are more on a spectrum where it's like it's more like just knowledge that you have
Strength and integrity.
you have to learn over time to understand.
Yeah. I can remember more with that. It's too maths too cut and dry.
Yeah. And it gets very confusing. Like just deriving formulas is just so painful.
That's the same question we had before.
But I need to understand it, obviously, for my studies. I need to because
it's a necessary evil.
yeah. I do my best. I do.
These topics are all garbage. They're either just disgusting or just boring as hell.
Yeah.
Not even going to touch that topic either. Nope.
How good are you at playing guitar?
Fun fact, I think... No, it's out of shot on the camera. I've played that guitar for a total of 2 hours
I dropped my phone.
because I could not find a decent enough affordable
Yeah,
app
but
that actually lets me learn.
Oh, because you just started this, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought that at the start of quarantine.
Whoa. So there's... How much was this?
$200 with the amp. Like, not bad.
Reasonable. You should get Griffin to teach you. He's pretty good.
Actually, Griffin is really good. I've watched that. He's got a video about that. Not teaching, but a video of him playing.
Yeah. I think
His whole family's musical, isn't it?
yeah.
Or is him and his sister?
No, I think his whole family. Anthony's not bad either. But
Is he your brother?
what?
Is he your brother?
No, our Anthony.
Kovac.
Yeah.
He plays guitar.
Yeah. Well, a little bit.
I didn't even know. This is just weird. People should be buried vertically. Space saving. Like, have you seen those?
Just layer people. Then.
Have you seen those diggers where it can it's just a big tube and it can just
Yeah,
make a
yeah.
big tube in the ground?
It makes no difference.
No, but if you wanted to condense the area, I guess.
No, but even then, it makes no difference. Just layer people on top of each other.
I mean, that comes back to Elon Musk's idea for instead of to fix the traffic problem, how everyone thought we were going to go to the skies. His idea is to build tunnels and different levels of tunnels to fix the traffic congestion issue.
Yeah.
Because have you heard his reason why flying cars are just the worst idea and will never ever happen?
There's a few reasons why they're not the
There's
best
noise.
idea. Noise. Oh, that's the worst idea you can think of.
No, that was the worst idea for him because a drone, which weighs about 400 grams, not even like 300, 250, The amount of noise it makes to take off is ridiculous. Now, if you put that on a 1-ton car, it's going to sound like a jet engine to your yard.
I mean, if noise is the worst we've got
And then there's
there.
people being pilots.
Yeah, there's the fact that people
falling out of
can't
the
even
sky.
drive on the ground.
Yeah.
Let alone now we're adding another axis or two for them to move.
I mean, what would we had to have 0 cases for X amount of days to come out of quarantine? We should have 0
we're
crashes.
we're gonna give them up, down, and roll as well as turning left and right. Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's go with tunnels. Let's
And then
dig into the
landing.
ground.
Where do people land? You can't just land anywhere either. That's enough. There's a lot of problems.
Landing pads. It's a very not cost effective. Add the tunnel. This is just purely wrong. Sleeping in jeans is nice. I could not think of.
done it.
I've never had
be
that
fair.
comfortable a pair of jeans,
Well, no, actually, I have done
but
it,
it's not voluntarily.
but I just kind of passed out.
Exactly.
I've never wanted to sleep in jeans.
No, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed in an hour. Let me chuck my jeans on.
I think the one time I did, at first it was really uncomfortable. Then I just passed out, and then I woke up and I was like, "Why did I sleep in jeans?"
Yeah, that's fair.
that was like, yeah. I mean, no, it's not. It's not super comfortable. Sleeping in jeans is not.
No.
Go for it if you want. I'm not gonna stop you.
Ooh. Put you on the spot with this one. Babies should be banned from the cinema. I reckon there's a lot of public places babies should be banned from.
Banned. I don't know about banned.
From a cinema. They can't focus on
Banned.
anything. A movie's 2 hours long.
Well, here's the
Should they have a daycare in cinema?
enforcing it is a bit maybe a bit extreme. I'd say babies you shouldn't take a baby to a cinema.
It's like you wouldn't take a baby to a library.
I think it should just be like a common practice thing. Like you shouldn't have to be told, no, you're not allowed to bring your baby to the cinema. You should just realize that that's
a bad
not
idea.
a good idea.
That's fair. I mean, they could do the ball pit daycare thing where you just leave your kid at the entrance.
It's like I don't need a sign everywhere I'm going saying don't smoke meth. I kind of just know that's a bad idea.
Some people don't get it.
Obviously not, but
That's why you have to cater to the lowest common denominator. All right, let's keep going.
but the signs clearly aren't working then, are
Oh,
they?
here's interesting. We discussed this before. Facebook is slowly going the same way MySpace did.
Is it?
A lot slower, I think.
I don't think it is.
Like MySpace was very one day it was there, one day it was not. Facebook is slowly phasing out, but because they've put like gaming streaming on it now and ads and crap,
I think Facebook is so massive at this point.
it's huge. Yeah,
You-
makes so much money.
You couldn't. They can't just disappear. There's so because it's not. Maybe Facebook, as it originally was,
Yeah,
is disappearing. But Facebook
it's evolving.
provides so many services.
I think very few platforms now will cease to exist. They'll either evolve and change what they're used for, or completely rebrand.
I could see YouTube ceasing to exist.
Do you know what YouTube's original use was?
Nope.
Dating site. It's a dating site.
Whoa.
So I don't think YouTube would cease to exist. Simply one, because it's owned by Google. And it's one of the biggest. Like, when was the last time you said, dude, check out this Vimeo video? Check out this video on Dailymotion.
yeah.
I think it's because it's that synonymous. Like, a YouTube video is like a noun now, not a descriptive word. It's not a video on YouTube, it's a YouTube video.
Yeah. It's hard
They
to
would just
say.
rebrand, because now they've got YouTube Premium and Red, and there's like TV shows. You can rent movies on it. You can stream. They're not going to get to the. They're definitely not going to get to where Twitch is.
No.
Nowhere near it, because Twitch is like taking that. But they're their own.
Yeah,
thing,
I mean, I guess you're right. Like what would replace YouTube?
exactly.
There might be like a few smaller things that stream off trying to, but I don't know if any of them will actually take off. It'd
think-
have to be quite a compelling case.
I think with all the creators as well, I think Google would die trying to keep YouTube alive, just because now the synonymous thing of they have YouTubers. That's like a thing now. That's like a career title. It's now
But,
accepted to see that
I
on a
think,
resume.
when I say like it had to be quite a compelling case, I think it had to be quite a compelling case to the YouTubers more than it would to the audience.
Well,
it had to be so good that all of the YouTubers would leave
It would, yeah.
and that would then take the audience away from YouTube.
Well,
But
you keep up with all the news, like how all the bigger creators have an issue with YouTube doesn't communicate with them if they have an issue. If something goes
yeah,
wrong,
and
with
I don't know how they're
demonetization.
going with it, but they had the big whole problems with things being reported as
Taken down,
copyright and
So if another platform came up that had perfect communication between the platform and its creators, and managed to merge streaming, where now people who do this as a career don't need to use like 3 different sites at once and platforms, and they can do
Yeah.
it all on the one, that would probably do it. But I don't think anyone's gonna.
to
We won't
make
see that
that
for
a
a while.
reality is quite a difficult thing to do.
Exactly, a lot of money at this point. Like the amount of money in
And to
esports
do that before YouTube can manage to do that is an even bigger thing.
Yeah, before like your idea gets out there and YouTube's like, oh, we'll just nab that.
Yeah, well, that's the other problem is I remember hearing the best way to like be successful with something is not to be the first.
No, wait. To
You
see
want to
what
be the second or the third, and you want to basically
fix.
take their good idea and get rid of the problems with it, and then just
Be better
now
at
it's
it.
yours.
Yeah, 100%.
Now it's yours.
Um,
And just pretend the original one never existed.
they don't exist anymore. Who? Vimeo? Who?
What is Daily Motion?
Running out of topics here. Oh my god. I mean, there's thousands, but they're all garbage. Oh, I disagree. Bar soap is far superior to liquid soap.
I like some liquid soap.
Liquid soap.
I use both, but I like liquid soap.
I prefer bar soap for washing my hands,
Nah, I definitely prefer liquid soap for washing.
but I
my
prefer
hands.
liquid body wash.
I would say bar soap has its occasional benefits. But
It's harder to waste.
Yeah, but
You many
I
times
prefer body soap, like
Yeah,
liquid
body wash.
body wash.
You know how many times I've accidentally pressed on a body wash thing and it just shoots the soap onto the freaking floor or whatever?
My problem is, do you know how many times I've accidentally used body wash as shampoo or vice versa?
Do I want another number?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you the number. A
How do you
lot.
do that? There's no shampoo that comes in a pump bottle.
I don't know. It's a liquid. It's a liquid.
Do you have
Well,
all
but
your
there
bottles
is- but
facing
there is-
backwards?
No, but there's also body washes that come in like a squeezy bottle. Like
Yes, that's true.
shampoo.
Which baffles me because that's just a pain to get out of.
it
The bottle.
is. But I've made the mistake of like going one way or the other and then just being like, oh, that's the
Oops.
wrong soap. I guess body wash isn't that bad for your hair. I don't know.
I was about
Maybe
to say
it
it's probably the opposite. If you accidentally use shampoo as soap, it's probably less harmful than using soap on your hair.
is. My hair don't care.
Your head, okay. All right, let's keep going. No, oh my god, where even sorting by like top posts did help nothing. Nope. Half of these are racist. Like horribly racist. Only half. The rest of them
I
are
guess it's not
sexist.
It's not 4chan.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Does 4chan still exist?
Yeah. Scott will tell you.
Never been on 4chan, not even once.
I've clicked accidental links when Googling
I've
stuff.
avoided it quite a lot.
It's good to do, actually. No.
This is gonna have to be cut out.
No, I don't edit any of the podcasts. I do. I like make the audio sound nice, and I trim out the start, chuck an ending on it. I don't do anything to the middle. If there's some little bit of silence, people can use that time to trim their toenails.
Yeah, think.
Comment.
Comment us ideas on what we can talk about.
I had one guy
Or,
actually.
or,
comment.
or probably just Josh, because I probably won't. I don't know if I'll be here for the next one. But
I would love to get people on more regularly. You know how annoying it is to talk on your own.
I
It
can
was good for
imagine-
two episodes, and then I started running out of things.
I can imagine just talking to yourself gets quite boring.
It's on occasion, but I can only do them for shorter episodes now.
I feel like it's one of those things I could only do if I'm doing something else at the same time.
To be like knitting, doing a Rubik's Cube or something.
Yeah, like just to talk as I'm driving or whatever, just as I'm doing something.
Yeah. That's kind of up your alley. I'd rather have buttons instead of touchscreens in my car.
I like buttons.
They're
Buttons-
tactile. You know what you're pressing.
Buttons are satisfying.
They're status. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I like a key barrel ignition. I don't like push start button cars.
That button better have a good click if it is.
Oh, but it's so good when you.
There's a You've got two keyboards behind you to your left, actually. You can test between a chiclet key style and a mechanical.
This one's a mechanical?
Yeah, the one.
The mechanical's way better.
Exactly. And the blue one I've got over the black one on the table. It's like 3 times as loud and clicky. Yeah, so that's it. The button, if it's got a good click and a good feel.
Yeah, like, just having the force, like the pump.
I think it's a safety thing as well. Because a touchscreen, you have to look. There's no way to know where your finger is on that screen.
Touchscreens take a lot more concentration off of
A button you can feel. That's why most cars and the buttons on the car, they've got nubs on them before blind people. Maybe not for blind people, that's a stupid thing. But
yeah,
so
those blind
blind drivers.
They're going to be going so far.
No, but so you don't have to really look to press the button.
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's
you know
like,
where your hand is.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think buttons superior in a car.
Specifically.
Partly why I don't like the Tesla big.
Yeah, but I think you can do a lot of voice stuff in it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can. They are putting a lot of voice stuff. But I generally don't use voice commands in my phone or anything anyway. So
No, Siri's a meme. All the Google stuff. I use it for meme stuff if I'm bored.
yeah, I only know one person that uses all the
Like legitimately.
yeah.
The Gene.
No, it's not Gene.
It's not Gene.
No.
Alright, let's keep going. Nope, I don't watch any of those shows. Nope. Jesus Christ.
My stomach just rumbled.
It did just rumble.
I want some oven pizza.
Actually, while I look, what shows have you been watching on Netflix?
On Netflix, Shameless.
Shameless.
Yeah.
That's all you've been binging? It's like 5,
Well,
6
no,
seasons?
that's the only show on Netflix I've been watching. The other one was Harley Quinn, the animation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You did speak about that.
I've been watching a lot of those too.
Because I remember you did have like a month period where you just binged shows back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I had nothing to do. And I didn't feel like playing video games, so I just watched shows.
Because you can do it mindlessly.
Yeah, like it depends. Like, and I switched in the mood. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to play some video games. Sometimes I might just shows.
Yeah,
That's
I feel that.
That's what I fill my spare time with. And then actually, there's 3 things. It's YouTube, TV, games.
Yeah.
YouTube, TV.
Although I feel
games.
like in terms of shows, anime takes so much more concentration.
Oh, I haven't watched anime in a long time.
Because unless it's dubbed, if you take your eyes off the screen for a second, you miss a frame.
I feel like when the thing with anime is when you get into anime,
Then it's
you
probably
really get into anime.
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, I just because I haven't watched it in a while, I'm like so out of the loop with it.
Yeah.
If I was to watch it, I don't know what I'd watch. I don't know where I'd watch it because I know one of the sites died, didn't they? Like
A
Kiss
few of them.
Anime?
Yeah, a few of them did. A few of them have actually just come back as rebranded
Oh,
websites.
okay.
But it's so annoying because we get so few sites that actually work here.
But yeah,
And
like
Crunchyroll doesn't get a whole lot either.
yeah, so because I've been out of it, I don't know where to get back into it if I was to go back to it. And then the other part is the effort. By the time I boot up my computer, if to watch something, I'm usually just like, all right, let's go to YouTube.
Yep, 100%. I'm the same. These are all just. A lot of them are American. So
What have you been watching recently?
I'm watching recently. Not a whole lot. I've been working a lot. A lot of YouTube. I just watch random stuff. A couple of boxing fight highlights. A couple of. Not honestly, not a lot. Oh, I started
watching Jake Paul beat.
No, oh yeah, round 2 knockout. That was fun. Although I really wish he didn't get that. But then I was watching. Started Hannibal last night with Mads Mikkelsen. That's really good. You should watch that. It's like crime serial killer.
Interesting.
I can't find any good documentaries though. All the Netflix ones that people rave about, they all suck.
I don't know. Shameless, the show I've been watching recently is just, it's just, that is the perfect name for that show. Like the stuff that happens is just so outrageous.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like kicking, just for reference, like kicking a quadriplegic kid off of a summer camp because he wanted to try and get free benefits by pretending his kid has cancer. Just like
Wow.
just like
Sure. Okay. I need to watch this show then.
Words just cannot describe how disgraceful. The actor who played it, he must have had a great time.
Oh, that would have been so much fun to film.
It would have been so good. And the scary part is, like, he's playing, like, I don't know, a 40, 50-year-old. Or, I mean, like, yeah, around then. And he's, like, 65 or something.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to find out that he's, like, 65, 70, somewhere in that period. Because the dude, like, if that... Oh, that'd be so unhealthy to be that age by, like, 45. And I thought that, like, it was genuine... Somebody had done that, and I was like, "That is not good."
Jesus.
But it's just crazy. I don't know. It's a really good show. I
Okay.
really have enjoyed
I
that
should
a
probably.
lot.
I think Rachel's seen a bit of it, so I do need to check it out. A brownie is better than chocolate cake.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
They've got the chewiness.
That's not
Chocolate
even-
cake's too soft.
That's not even hard
Nah.
to argue.
I'm on board with that.
Actually,
There's a lot of
I could-
sexual questions here.
I could eat a brownie right now.
Brownie's pretty good. Ooh, leftover pizza is better microwaved than cold.
Yeah, I microwave my leftover pizza.
I pan fry.
I know. What?
Put it in a pan
I've never heard of anyone pan frying
because
their
the
pizza.
oven takes too long to heat up.
Microwave, dude.
It's soggy. I like the crispy crust. Cece.
I've never heard of. I've never heard of anyone frying their pizza before. I know people who are just too lazy to heat it up. They just eat it cold.
Eat it
but
out the box.
No, it's definitely better warm. At least warm. At least a little bit. Like, get it a little bit
Get
warm.
the cheese a bit going.
Yeah.
Gee, the racism on Reddit.
Yeah, man, it's a problem. It's
We have
called
reached the
internet.
bottom of the subreddit.
We're at the bottom.
We're at the bottom.
We're at the start, at the beginning. What was the first post?
The very first at the bottom, it's not the first because it's ordered by like popularity.
Oh, okay. What's the least popular?
The least popular one was people extremely into sneakers should be considered nerds. To be honest though, yes, but they make so much money. Like sneaker nerds selling like flipping Yeezys and Air Jordans and stuff.
What is it with sneakers? I never understood that.
It's an American thing, but because I don't know, everyone wears shoes, I guess, to agree. Depends what kind of shoe you wear, but they're so expensive.
I've just never understood it. Like, what is it about sneakers that people get so into? Because the thing is, if it's a good pair of like expensive sneakers, you can't wear that.
That's true.
It's the most useless article of clothing. And it's I don't get it. It's like the whole clothes flexing thing.
Oh, the hype beast.
Hype beast
Yeah.
clothes.
It's a waste of time. Waste of time. I sorted by most controversial. Expensive engagement rings are nicer than cheap ones and show how much you care about someone.
Wow.
I feel like
is-
that's the flip side. I feel like the unpopular opinion should be the cheap ring is better.
No, I think that is the unpopular opinion.
Actually, yeah, that's fair.
Because most people will say no. I would say to a degree.
There's at some point you're just spending money on a ring
Yeah,
for the sake of spending money.
At some point, it's excessive. I would say, like, you want to spend a little bit. You want to show that you are, putting in.
I say low 4 digits.
Yeah, at least high threes.
High threes, yeah. I could do that.
Low fours,
I
high
wouldn't
threes.
mind doing custom. Like
I don't know what engagement rings cost.
I've seen them as high.
I've seen them as high as many thousands of dollars.
Not like
but,
going to like if you just Google it. Like if you go into like a Cartier, like maybe 13 to 20K,
but like a standard, like what most people would buy.
probably 7 to 10,000. I think I would say is average from what I've heard people say.
Really? That's way more than I thought they would.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm like, wouldn't you just rather spend that on the wedding, or
Okay,
on your
if-
honeymoon or a vacation?
If engagement rings are that expensive, then no, I disagree.
yeah.
I thought they were more like around the 1,000, 2,000.
Oh, they definitely. I would say the majority of rings are there. It's when you start getting into like, I want that ring, but I want that ring's gem, but with that ring's
Yeah, but
band
like
style or
what I
crap
mean is
that.
like what are most rings that people buy? What do they cost? The most common
Oh, like not an engagement ring.
no, like sorry, isn't like the most common engagement ring price.
Okay,
What do you
let's
reckon
Google
most
that.
people would spend on average?
Let's go.
it-
Average engagement ring price. I'm saying 7 to 10K.
No, I don't even think it's close to that. I reckon,
The average engagement cost $5,900. American, US.
Whoa, really? Okay, that's a lot more than I thought. I've
That's
never
because
looked.
most people go for diamond though.
I've never looked into it at all, not even once. But
No.
yeah, that is a lot.
I mean, you type in engagement ring and you've got the Google shopping tab. All are from Michael Hill, and that starts at 50K. I'm looking at a ring now for $49,999, which is a 2-carat diamond white gold for. No, two carat diamonds encased by 14-carat white gold.
That's a lot, man.
That's a lot of fucking money
For a little like thing that sits on your
that you
finger,
might lose very
and
easily.
Not many people look at.
God no. Jesus. All right, scrolling back through for controversial.
That was a good topic.
It was very interesting.
I disagree with them.
Go the cheap ring. Spend money on something else.
Yeah, save the money for the wedding. Go on your honeymoon. I don't know. Spend the money elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's just a little metal band with a little diamond on it. It's fine.
Nope. Nope. God no.
You know what you should spend the money on that you save with the engagement ring? You should spend the money on making.
ExpressVPN.
Oh yeah, dude. ExpressVPN. Save your details. No, but you should save the money and use it on making the rest of the experience of that whole proposal better.
Yeah. Photographer, dinner,
Yeah, like
light.
make the whole situation more impressive.
I got that.
Rather
Yeah,
than
I'm on board
like,
with that.
you know,
Materialistic.
$40,000 ring, you give them to them in like the Macca's car
Fly
park.
somewhere onto a
Yeah,
beach.
$6,000 ring.
Make it a
but
holiday.
on a beach in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's
Definitely.
way better. That's way.
At least then you less chance to lose a $50,000 piece of small metal.
Yeah.
Ooh. 1 packet of sauce is plenty for 10 nuggets.
I actually agree. I
don't
think
use
it's
a lot of
fine.
sauce.
I don't use much sauce either because I'm happy to eat a nugget without sauce.
I will eat the entire. Yeah, I'll eat the entire.
I'll
thing
eat
without-
all of them without sauce if I want it. But
Depends how old they are, to be honest.
I'll only eat like half the pack with sauce. So for me, yeah, one's enough.
Yeah. I only get 2 if I want different sauce. I wouldn't get 2 of the same.
There's only one sauce I go for with nuggets. Barbecue.
Barbecue's my second. I go sweet mustard.
Okay, I've never had them with sweet mustard.
Mustard's pretty good. No, these are just awful. But Jesus Christ. Any questions on your end while I scroll?
I had a few that they've obviously slipped me now because I'm a bit of a moron. But
Aren't we all?
yeah, what is it that got you doing the podcasts?
It's so much less effort. That's literally number one. I don't have to edit a whole lot, and there's less of a facade to put on. So I can literally sit down and
just
talk.
enjoy talking.
Doing a let's play or doing any other kind of video, it's so much more energy, and it feels 10 times more exhausting. Even like the review stuff that I do, exhausts. It feels like I've
Yeah.
done 5 hours. It's been like an hour and a half.
Yeah, like we've barely been going 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty relaxing.
It is. It's fine. Oh God, not even going to touch
Is that plant real or fake?
None of the plants in this room are real. There's some of them are in the background. All that's fake. IKEA, like $10. I think it adds pop of gold. That's just figures.
I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to remember who that guy's from.
So left to right, that's Faith from Mirror's Edge,
Yeah,
Goku
Faith.
Dragon Ball,
Yeah, no Goku. That's the guy from
Marcus, Watch Dogs 2,
Watch Dogs. That's the one with the
Adam
hacker
Jensen, Deus Ex.
dude. Oh, Deus Ex.
Yeah,
Okay, I've never played Deus Ex.
good game. think it's cheap as hell now as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have a look into it.
Jesus. I think we may have run this of
We've run out.
all of G-rated topics anyway.
At least PG topics.
Yeah.
Come back for the After Dark version.
Sure. It's uploaded to OnlyFans. The hour cut.
Yeah, that would be be quite the show.
I don't think we want to touch that.
Oh, yeah, it would be. Look, it might be popular. You'd probably get
Ooh.
shut down on YouTube, but
Food is not a human right.
that's interesting. Human right. There's a lot of things that people think are a human right that aren't a human right.
I mean, internet's classified as one now.
It's
As of like
not.
2011.
Is it?
Yeah, WHO.
Wow.
WHO, human rights.
There's a lot of things that people seem to think are human rights that really aren't.
I think the legal ones are food, water, education. I think that's it. I don't think you're
Yeah.
entitled to a house.
Honestly, I'm not even sure where I sit with food. Like, the thing is, you got to determine what is a right and what distinguishes one, right? So,
Yeah.
like, for example, with water, that's a readily available resource. There's no production required
Yeah,
for
if
it.
you find a lake or what, no, maybe not like a stream. you
Yeah,
can pretty much get
so denying people water is denying them from something they need to survival.
it. Be like denying oxygen,
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
whereas food needs to be
Food is
processed, and,
someone's got to put work in to produce it.
which is because
So-
that's essentially their argument.
Yeah, and you can't say that they need to do it for free.
Unless you're just talking about them picking fruit off a tree or carrots out the ground or crap like that.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't say that's a right.
Yeah, that's just something you found, I guess.
There's a lot of things that I hear people say, "Oh, it's a right," but I don't think it's a right. But you know, that's the reality. I think the world is not a nice place. Not many things are right. So you got to work for what you want.
Here's a fun one. Having boners in public is the fun part of having one.
Oh wow, that's a brave, it's a brave soul that
Should
one.
we, let's, I actually like the idea because people can see it. That is the Reddit post, I will add.
I am not that brave. Why? Why do you want people?
It's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I don't know.
Why do you want
They're an
people-
exhibitionist.
Yeah, that's a bit like creepy. Why do you want people to see it?
Nudity? They're a nudist?
It's a bit odd. You
It is a
know?
bit odd.
There's a lot of people that you don't want. You don't. I don't know. No, I'm not touching that one.
You sure? The boner? Or?
Yeah. No. We're not touching anything about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
just any of it.
Uh,
No boners. Nothing. Not in public, at least.
ooh, okay. I just typed in r/conversation topics. Do you think time travel will be possible in our lifetime?
No.
In anyone's lifetime?
No.
Ooh, explain.
I don't see how it would. I
You've
mean,
seen Interstellar, fourth dimension, mate.
that's not time travel though.
Not quite, but it's the closest idea. I mean, the fourth dimension is time.
Yeah. Well, okay. What they're referring to, what caused their time travel in their particular case was that they went too close to a black hole, and then time moved at a different speed, and then they came back, and everyone else had aged much more than they had.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is how time was the other way around. Did they come back older when everyone else was young? I don't remember. But
They didn't come back. By the end of it,
I don't remember. I got to watch the movie again. Basically,
we'll start it now.
basically, I wouldn't consider that necessarily time travel. Time manipulation to a degree, but not time travel.
Okay.
They never traveled through time. They just experienced it at a different rate.
Do you think we'll ever see teleportation in our lifetime?
I think that's more likely.
More
I'd say so. The problem with time is, I think, if you're going to consider going forward in time, you also have to, for it to be time travel, you need to be able to go back.
Yeah.
To where you came from. So forward and back. And going forward might be possible, but going back, I don't know how that would work. And there's always the good old
Butterfly effect.
the what's the thing where you can't solve them?
Paradox?
Yeah, the good old paradox of like, if time travel is possible, why has no one ever gone back?
From the future, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Um,
Unless then law, it's not allowed to travel back.
maybe not.
Or maybe we just never
Maybe you're not
discovered
allowed to
that.
go, maybe not allowed to go back to before time travel was invented. I don't know.
You can only go back a year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what the
So
reason?
at this point, we just know it hasn't been discovered next year.
Yeah. But teleportation. Maybe not teleportation,
We
but
just have super fast travel.
yeah, close to it at the very least. I think could be possible. Maybe not within our lifetime, but possible. And from what I believe, they've already experienced small, very small examples of particles, like singular particles, disappearing and then reappearing somewhere else,
I remember hearing something. I can't remember what it was, though.
which would technically be teleportation.
So would the teleportation be transmitting your atoms somewhere else? Or would it be reading your atoms, destroying you, and rebuilding you somewhere else?
That's a good one as well. And in either of those cases, do you die?
Yeah, have you been
That's
killed
another-
and brought back to life somewhere else?
Yeah, and if you have been, is it the original you? There's a lot to that. There's a lot to unpack
There's a
there.
lot to that.
I don't have the answers, unfortunately.
I'm disappointed. That's why I brought you on the podcast.
I would like to say that more likely what we'd see anytime soon would be along the lines of like wormholes, where they basically can shortcut
Yeah.
space.
Now, let me quickly look at the notes actually made for the original. Ooh, the one thing we haven't touched yet. Your new love of chess.
Oh yeah, I like chess. Chess is fun.
How
I
have
don't
you been
know.
going with that?
Bad. I'm
Bad.
not good
Oh,
at
no.
it.
How many
I don't
how many
know.
wins do you have?
More than losses.
Well, that's a positive KD
I
in my
don't.
books.
I don't know. Look, I'm making progress. It's a very complicated game, apparently.
I haven't finished a game in the last week.
Yeah. So I've started because I used to play it as a kid, and then I made the mistake of watching the Queen's Gambit, and that was like, oh, that's really interesting. I should play it again. And I played it, and now I'm enjoying it. I'm not good. I am improving.
Mhm.
I've probably got about how many games have I played? Maybe 10.
That's not bad.
I think I've won like. I think I'm on like. I'm definitely a lot more wins than losses. I'm
Yeah.
on something like 7 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws.
That's pretty good, actually. I'm on 3 losses.
No, that's not 10 then. That's 13 games. I don't know. Something like that. I think it's something around 13, something like that. I've had a few draws and a few losses and then a few wins. But look, I'm still learning. I'm unpacking how to play. The thing that got to me was I always knew how the pieces worked.
Yeah, that's like a common
But
thing.
yeah, moving from that to
Using them effectively.
how you actually like win.
Yeah, I never got that
what
far.
makes someone good is a different thing, and it's
the whole seeing everything like 6 moves ahead or some crap like that.
it's
very
complicated. You got to
confusing.
plan ahead, and you got to be able to you got to be aware of like the entire board the whole time. See, it's not. I don't even know if it's so much like being 6 moves ahead, because it's unpredictable. You
Yeah.
can't necessarily do that, but always being aware of your options in every situation is actually really hard because, for example, I was like the most common thing to do obviously is blunder a piece, which basically means that you either make a move thinking it's a good move and it turns out that you've just actually put the piece in a terrible spot and lose it, or you get put in a situation that you think is a trade, so you trade pieces, but then it turns out there was actually a much more efficient way to solve that
Right.
position. And I'm just trying to learn how to get good at that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'll get about 3 to 4 moves in and I'll be like, well, don't know what the hell I'm doing now.
Yeah, I mean,
Once it comes to moving anything but pawns, I'm like,
I have no idea on strategies.
God, no.
Nothing to do with. I don't really understand strategies yet. I don't understand any of the openings or anything like that. I'm terrible at getting a checkmate.
I feel like there's some portion of you need to know what the normal move sets are. Like there's a strategy where it's like
Yeah.
you do this piece, you set up this piece, and that way you can recognize if it's being done. But I'm light years off that.
The only bit I know, the only thing I can say is try and control the center with
That's what I
pawns.
got, yeah. That's all I got.
That's all I know. That's it.
E4 and D4. E4 and D5.
I'm not good. I'm not a talented chess player by any means. I've been enjoying it though.
It's fun. It's a good way to pass time.
Yeah, it's a bit challenging. It keeps me thinking, and I'm surprised how many people play.
Yeah, it is actually kind of, even given how old of a game it is. But
Like I just thought it was one of those old people games that
in the
nobody,
park,
no one really thought about. But then
it's massive.
it's huge, it's really huge. There's apparently like something like 800 million players in the
I'd say it's
world.
bigger than like World of Warcraft.
Probably.
Actually, we can.
Well, I mean, you
Quick
can find out,
Google.
is there more than 800 million players in the world in
My
Warcraft?
flashlight's on my phone as well.
Um,
Okay, let's go. Current World of Warcraft players. 4.88 million.
oh, so yeah, not even close.
Nope. Chess is massive. Chess is the oldest game.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite insane. It's good fun. I've been enjoying it. Get into it if you
Everyone should go play chess this week.
Yeah, if you haven't played it before, or if you used to play it and you haven't played it in a while, give it a crack. It's good fun. And don't just give up on your first loss.
Yeah, no, that's
You'll
the hard,
be a lot of
hard
them.
part to get around, but that's fun.
I actually find it similar in a lot of ways to Age of Empires.
It's mostly the same, just a smaller map.
Yeah, it's partly like why I'm enjoying it so much. It's actually
Do you think it's improved your Age of Empires game?
no, probably not. But it's very similar in like the whole approach where the beginning is always fairly similar and it's always setting yourself up to be in the strongest position possible.
Yeah.
And then your attack and defense is always going to be around trying to get encounters. And
There's a whole nuance to the game and point system that I still don't quite get.
when you mean point system, do you mean as
Like
in,
the value of different pieces and who's like, if you like,
I
in
don't
another
know.
game, if someone looks at the board, they can be like, who's currently in like the best position.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, and even then, like sometimes the value of the pieces doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
resemble who's in the best position.
It's literally just the number.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the numbers, the value of certain pieces,
imagine.
but I know like roughly how they got the values. They've just
Queen
kind of
is obviously really up there.
Queen's obviously more
It's
important.
their ability on the board.
Yeah, Queen's obviously
Pawn's
more
fuck all.
important than a pawn.
Yeah.
But how you look at a position of like, I mean, I haven't watched any high level games, but how you'd look at the position of a high level player and be like, yeah, this one's in the better spot.
Yeah. I don't
know.
out of my league, way over my head.
Yeah, they're looking at stuff that
I probably won't even touch in my lifetime.
yeah. I mean, maybe I'll look at a few games and see how they do it,
And then just get very confused very quickly.
and then just give up. Yeah,
I feel that
I feel like chess is going to be one of those things that I play for a little bit and then just
in the background. Well, chess, they have an app, chess.com.
yeah. But what I mean is like I'll play it and then I'll just forget about it,
No, that's fair. I can see that.
and then I just won't play it again. But hopefully I get. My goal is to make a 1,000 elo.
1,000 elo. Okay, and to put into perspective for other people, what's an average?
I don't know. I've heard like just your average adult is like 600,
Okay.
and then like a tournament player, like your entry level average tournament players are like 1,200.
And top of the world's like 2,800.
Top players are 2,800.
That's ridiculous.
I'd say so. I'd say like 1,000 is just okay.
Yeah.
1,000's not good.
Above
1,000's just
average.
slightly above average.
There we go.
If I played 1,000, be good enough that if I played just some random off the street, probably like
confident to
7 times out of 10, I'd win.
Yeah, I could see that. I think 1,000. That's achievable.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the goals pretty low there.
Yeah.
I don't
Who
because
knows? Maybe you'll hit 1,600.
the 800 million players. That's
Thought you
probably
were about to say 800 million elo for a sec.
there's enough people that are going to be better than me that I don't want to.
Nah, you can hit 1,000. By the next time you're on the podcast, I want you to hit 1,000.
Here's a question: how many? I looked this up the other day because I was interested. How many grandmasters in chess do you think there are?
Grandmasters in chess.
So the highest ranking players in the
What's
world.
the minimum elo to be considered grandmaster?
I don't know if there's a minimum elo.
Or is it just more of a
I think
status?
it's like you basically, I know for example, you have to beat a grandmaster to become a grandmaster kind of thing. I'd say like minimum elo we'll say is like 2,600.
7.
You reckon there's 7? 1,500.
What?
Yeah.
That makes it sound so much less special.
I know. But then
1,500.
800 out of 800 million players.
I wonder if that comes with any perks. Being a grandma,
I
I don't
have
imagine
no
so.
idea.
Unless you're literally the best in the world.
I have no idea what the perks behind being a grandmaster are, but
I don't think there'd be a lot.
I don't even like being a grandmaster doesn't necessarily mean you're the highest ranks. Like I was having a look through the top ranking players on chess.com, for example. And there was an international master among all the grandmasters and stuff,
Oh wow.
and like a women's grandmaster, which is technically a different rank and all that sort of stuff.
Jeez.
There's not necessarily, if you're that ranked, you're the highest rating.
You're just fairly up there.
It's
though.
just, yeah, I don't exactly know
At the top,
what,
like 80%.
I don't know what the ranks necessarily mean.
Yeah, it's kind of, again, it's just a number at this point to us. I think
Yeah.
unless you involve yourself in that entire world, it means nothing.
Yeah, it just means, to me, it just means that they're good.
They're good, 100%.
If you have a rank, you're good.
Yeah.
Like that's my point. You're just probably good, better
Yeah.
than me, much better than me, way better than me,
More than double.
much more than double. Probably like just, yeah, easy, better than me.
That's good. I think that's a natural stopping point for now, I think.
That was a
there-
long chat.
It is a very long chat. It was good. Is there any places you want people to find you? Any platform?
Good luck if you want to find me.
Okay. I won't link any of his stuff. I'll leave that as a challenge for all of you. You can go find him if you can. Yeah, that was fun. If you guys have any questions for the podcast you want to leave, you can find us on Twitter. You can email to the podcast at thejustwingitpodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, comment, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Listen on Spotify. If you do listen on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave a review. Helps us out. And we'll catch you all next time. Would you want to come back on the podcast?
It was actually pretty fun. I was pretty nervous before I came, and it was actually all right. I was expecting it to be much more awkward and just
It's chill.
like an interview.
No. God,
I
no.
was actually pretty fun.
Oh, sweet. All right. We'll have you back soon.
See you guys.
Easy.